Hi, Nick. Welcome in, welcome in. Hi, Skylar, welcome in. Hello, hello. All my subs are in here first. Hi, Ella. Hi, Camilla. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Ivy. Hello, hello, y'all. Welcome in, welcome in. Hi, Mish. Hi, Onesie. Thanks so much for the likes already, y'all, to share us out. Thank you so much for liking and sharing the live. I appreciate it. We have some things to get into tonight. Thank you so much for the shares. Hi, Ann. Hi, Siobhan. Hi, Amy. Hello, hello. Thank you, Ann. This is my, I'm refusing to wash my hair. Hi, Cheeky Baby. Hi, Ryan. How are y'all tonight? Hi, Lele. Hi, Blake. I think it's Jaihani. Hi, Jihi. Hi, friend. I love you too. Hello, hello. We still need to go sit in a park, friend. You know our weather is about to betray us very soon here. Hi, Shania? Correct me if I'm saying it wrong. I know I missed you too, Jihi. I've been in my house. Hi, Chris. Hi, Katrina. I need to let myself get out. Hi, Jay. Am I saying it right, though, Shania? Am I saying it phonetically correctly? Correct me if I'm not. Hi, Shayla. Okay, tell me how to say it phonetically so I can say it right. Hi, Janae. Or is it Janie? Shania, like Shania Twain? That's crazy that that's my reference. Okay, perfect. Yay, thank you for correcting me. Okay, perfect, Shayla. Thank you for checking. Hi, Dee. Hello, welcome in, y'all. Hi, Kiana. Hi, Sherika. I'm trying to let people just get in. Hi, Christina. Hi, Miriam. Before we get started, I literally just hopped on. Hello, hello. A legend. Okay. Hi, Alicia. That don't impress me much. Loved her. At least that song. Hi, Amazing Grace. Hi, Kita. Hi, Bay. Yes, Tashina. Hello, Aubrey. Any man of mine? Okay, now I'm gonna have to go look it up, y'all. I'm gonna go look it up. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Lisa. Mtia. Okay, y'all are coming in. Thank you so much for being here in the live. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you so much for sharing out the live. Thank you so much for the gifts already. Thank you. Hello, Kelly. Oh, I feel like a woman. Yes. Okay, see, look at y'all dropping the Shania references in here. Go ahead. You didn't watch the Sunrise I'm Pretty, but we in here. Yeah. I feel that. Oh, thank you so much, Shayla. Thank you. Not a grown-up is on. Hello, Kelly. Have they been acting up on the app today? I mean, they always kind of acting up on the app, huh? I guess. Hi, Summer. I guess they are always acting up a little bit, just a little bit. For some reason, I must have engaged with a live that was crazy for too long because now I keep getting certain content. And I'm like, baby, no. I'm having to recurate my algorithm. Like, what is going on? Hi, Nikki. Hi, Tata. Tata, I saw your video. Hi, Skylar. I really am deciding if I'm going to, thank you so much, Twist Sublime. If I'm going to respond, what? I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Not even enemy territory, Shayla. Really what it is it's like them stupid ass, oh my God, look at me. I'm already annoyed. Them stupid ass discussions about black women this or black men that. Can y'all shut the fuck up? Oh my God, y'all get on my nerves with that shit, bro. Thank you, Pia. Ivy, I did not give him any of my brain power today. Because they be pissing me off with them reductive ass conversations. Oh, it's okay, Ivy. Like, they be pissing me off. Like, can y'all stop? Because no shade. I'm really not trying to be shady when I say this, y'all. I mean, period, Shayla. Period. Thank you so much, Pia. But it's like, y'all be up in here. I swear to God, some of these women, I'd be like, are you engaging in a humiliation ritual? I keep telling y'all. Hopefully they scroll past the slide. You do not yell at men for free. Period. Okay? You don't yell at them for free. Hi, Athena. Hi, Ray. Don't do this. Okay? No, exactly. Just like you're fucking... No, we're not doing that. Okay? Hi, my love. Hi. So when I be... Oh, thank you so much. A whole snack. Thank you. So like when I scroll past those lives and I be seeing Twerk for Dimes, when I be seeing... Period, Aubrey. T. Hi, gay. I just be so like, no, baby, no. And like some girls be on there, they be holding it down. Like, girl, don't answer that question. You know, they be up there just help coaching the girls. You know, hi, Nikki. But I just don't even get in there with them. Just leave them to their delusions on their own. Thank you. Like, no, we're not doing that. Okay, I was just telling them how I had to recurate my timeline, my algorithm real quick. But tonight we are going to get into Summer I Turned Pretty and Love Island because I'm not even going to hold y'all. Y'all seen the video. Nicolandrians. Conrad, come to the front. Come to the front. Come to the front. Come to the front, Nicolandrians, with the Conrad boat. Come here. Do not do this. And not like I think, y'all know that I don't think. Athena, it's I feel like it's my most recent regular video. No, it's not. My most recent regular video is about, they actually did drop the cast for Love Island Games. Pia, I'm not even going to get too much into like it's just the dynamic. You know what I mean? Camilla, Jeremiah. Listen, I have more content coming about it, y'all, but I'm just going to say this about Jeremiah. And do not misunderstand. Ain't neither one of they asses good. Okay? Don't misunderstand me. Okay? I'm not advocating for either brother. I'm just saying if we were going to choose, it would be Jeremiah. Okay? Because I'm going to hold your hands. And I like y'all. So no napkin in between. Okay? Just us holding hands. We are not choosing the man that makes us beg for their affection. We are not doing pursue withdrawal dynamics. When I cannot tell you how often, that's what I see the most often in my goddamn office. Pursue withdraw. I'm going to give a little take. No, baby, we're not doing that. You're not about to have me on unstable ground. You're not about to have me unsure about how you feel about me all the goddamn time. The mind games, exactly. The emotional abuse. Well, hold on. A cheater, let's be clear, they were technically on a break. You don't get to say we're breaking up and then and then change your mind because you found out he fucked somebody else. Belly, I mean, if we want to keep it a buck, Belly is the problem, okay? But it don't start with Belly, so I'm not even gonna... You asked for it, Shayla. You asked for it, and I put it in there, girl. the thing about Belly is like, yes, Belly is the problem, but it's really not even Belly. It's her fucking parents, okay? The way they breadcrumb her with love, the way Susanna sexualized that relationship from jump. She is fucking 6. Why are you talking about them being together forever? Girl. Like, and so it's the parents. Because Dad, why are you not more involved? Why aren't you having conversations with your daughter about what love is supposed to look like? Why are you not loving her mother in a way where she knows what love looks like? Yeah. Yeah. Because Laurel, why are you standing here basically talking about how Debs ain't shit while your daughter is one? Again, they set her up from jump to be acting how she's acting. And this is why, to circle it back to Love Island, folks, it matters the pedigree, right? And this is not to say that you can't have great experiences with 2-parent homes that are loving and great, you know what I mean? But that's not what either of these households were experiencing. Not Jeremiah and Conrad or Belly and Stephen. Neither one of them were experiencing great pedigree marriages that they were able to look to as examples. And unfortunately, the parents also were not filling in the gaps. So it's not like they was just fucking up, but then also educating their kids around how they're fucking up and how to do better. They were just fucking up. Both in their dynamics together and in their dynamics with the kids. So now you got this girl thinking breadcrumbs is enough. Baby, we are not chasing emotionally unavailable men. Absolutely not. We are not romanticizing life as a grown-ass person based on some shit you felt when you were 7. Grow up. Grow up. Okay? So she was set up to fail from jump. And this is why it matters how Nick's family shows up, how he experiences his parents. The fact that his parents said that their dynamic, him and Alandra's dynamic, remind them of their dynamic. That matters. And that, again, that pursue withdrawal is much more Alan coded. So I was actually shocked to see so many Nick and Landrians be Conrad fans. And I do believe, don't get me wrong, because again, I'm on the last episode of season 3. Jeremiah is not hitting either. And that has to do with his trauma though, right? Like let's keep it a buck that a lot of what he feels is not necessarily invalid. He's right to be mad at Belly for the shit that he's saying that he's mad about, because she absolutely has been stringing that boy along. She's been making him the choice while always being second choice the whole time. Yeah, that's some shit to be mad about. I'd be mad as fuck too. The fuck? Because you could have fucking said no, just like he said. And there's accountability on his part because, nigga, you knew that. So why you ask? But definitely more content around them coming soon because, baby, the dynamics between the parents and the kids, the dynamics between the, exactly, Sparkle, the dynamics between them and each other, it's all a fucking mess. And honestly, it starts from the top down. Susanna really was, I'm not even gonna lie, she pissed me off. I mean, I understand she's deceased now on the show, and maybe that's why people want to, give her grace. But she started this whole fucking narrative. She planted that seed first. Oh, you were going to be with one of my boys. And I just think it's so weird. I just think it's so weird how cishet people be having such a fixation on hooking kids up when they're fucking kids and planning out their, like, we're not coming from a culture where arranged marriages is the norm. We're talking about a white American and Asian American family. That's weird. Why is there so much? The scene in episode 3 when they're riding the bikes and his hand is like next to her. Why are we romanticizing friendship between kids? This shit is weird. It's weird. And Susanna started the whole fucking conversation. Anyway, more content coming about it. More content coming. I mean, true Birdie. Yeah, Mtia, it was giving very often with Susanna, like this desire to live through Belly because she didn't have a daughter, right? And Susanna and Laurel are very different women in the way that they present and inhabit the world. So Susanna definitely wanted a daughter. And so Belly was her opportunity to live vicariously through a child. Rachel, this is Summer I Turn Pretty. Shayla is messy as hell. So the acting is cringe, but you know, don't take my word for it, because I'm really not even a romance girly like that. If I'm keeping it a buck, I don't watch a lot of like rom-com or like romantic stuff. If it's in the story, great, but I don't like seek out. So like, I'm always gonna say it's a little bit corny, but it's very interesting to watch the dynamics. So if you want to watch it from that perspective, I recommend it. It's a lot to pull apart. And I will be doing some videos about it. But yeah, it's a lot to pull apart. Girl, Fontaine, girl. I'm like, this is the show that has the summer in a chokehold. I mean, I know Love Island season 7 did as well, but like, damn. Oh, MT, he was definitely giving Golden Child. He can only show up one way. Right? He was Golden Child, and Jeremiah was a child that was completely not seen and looked over. And that's why he's so able to see Belly. Because he is trying to offer outside of himself something that he's not receiving. Season 3 is not better. They actually make Jeremiah in some ways, in my opinion. Now, I haven't read the books, y'all. So I don't know if it's accurate to the books or not. But I will say they make Jeremiah like worse to me. Like he almost deviates from the way that we experienced him in seasons 1 and seasons 2, which is a really interesting choice to me because he's actually getting older. So why would he be less mature and responsible? Like it seems like it made sense that he was acting that way when he was a teenager, but now he's grown. So why is he more of a wreck now than before? Okay, Fontaine, so they just tried to make it salacious then for the show. And they could have kept it. They ruined Jeremiah to fit the narrative that Conrad is better. Yeah, Nina, because I'm watching season 3 and I'm like, what the fuck? This is not how he showed up at all in season 1 and 2. And I agree, right? So, hi, Rebel with the cause. I feel like Jartu says, I feel like you're conditioned to seeing Conrad as endgame. I think that that's what they want people to do. But anybody that watches actually the entire season, I mean, like the whole show, previous season, I would say Adelaide, and part of season 3, because what makes him similar, what makes Jeremiah similar to Nick is the friend to lover thing. The way that he sees her, the way that he is able to anticipate her needs, the way that he wants to show up for her and support her. Those are the ways that like he is more Nick coded than Conrad. Conrad is too emotionally unavailable. He's very withdraw pursue is his dynamic. Exactly, Nina. Conrad was so, again, and I get it. There's like this, I know that there's like this whole like nonchalant, brooding man that like feels attractive to some people. But my nieces, they're so funny. They're like, I need you to be very chalant. User, it depends on how you define cheating, because technically they were broken up when he went to Cabo. So do we consider that a real breakup? I don't feel like you get to say those words and then say, never mind, I changed my mind, it was fake, I didn't mean it. Because now, like, don't say shit you don't mean, but that's because I'm real grown. So to me, if you said that shit, then that's what you meant. You're going to have to stand on that shit. Well, User, I think that's because that's the way a lot of people conceptualize it. Because she said, well, you knew it wasn't a real breakup. Like, what do you mean? We said we're breaking up and then I left. And then we didn't talk. Why would I think that? And yes, when I got back, I wanted to get back together. But like, not Ross and Rachel all over again. Child. Okay, see, MT, I'm going to push back on that. Conrad needs to be single and getting help, but Jeremiah only saw her because Conrad did. No. Episode 1, season 1. When they get there, when they pull up to the house, Jeremiah lovingly looks on at Belly. And that is the first time as a viewer that you know he likes her. So it was there before Conrad was even a thing. And he even says in the pool to her, it's always been something in the way. It was Conrad, it was Cam, it was always something in the way, but it's always been you for me. He was into, and he liked her their whole lives. Exactly, Nina. And he was so, another way that he's like Nick coded to me is, right, like he also, when she was with Cam, he was actually happy for her. Like he was not hating on that, right? The fact that the fact that he like stayed her friend through everything, despite like even when he had nothing to gain, because he knew that all of those people were still in the way, he stayed her friend through it all, like authentically her friend. Not some like, no, I just got on in Mia. Like not just some like, oh, I'm going to be your friend, but it's not real. I'm going to hate on every relationship you're in. You know what I mean? Like he wanted her and was still present for her with all of that other shit being in the way. I mean, Ashley, for seasons 1 and 2, he actually was a child. So he was really just acting his age. And even now in season 3, he's only 21. MT, what I think it is, and I was saying this, I was like, I have an advantage because I literally only watched this show because y'all told me to. So it's very fresh. I literally have binged it all within like the last 3 weeks. So it's like, it's still, I still remember it very vividly. Yeah, I think we have to remember, right? Like they literally were still just kids in season, like she was just turning 16 and I think he's like, what, a year or 2 older than her. So they literally were kids. So he was acting his age. Hi, V. Hi, Christine. Oh, sorry. That's not who I'm trying to say hi to. Cookie, I was talking about, even though, hi, Christina. Hi to you. I already said hi though. But, Cookie, we're talking about the summer I turned pretty. I was telling them why I think that, Jeremiah is more Nick coded than Conrad being Nick coded. Conrad definitely gives Alan, right? The way that we watched Alan and the Villa do all of these dates. And then I'm going to pick Amaya. And then they finally coupled up after Casa Amor, and he's like, oh, well, maybe Coco should have stayed. Like, sir. And then it was like, well, I'm mad because you're mad about something. You know what I mean? With the whole heart rate challenge. And then, not Conrad didn't even do dates. And then it was like, oh, now we're on the dock, and I'm locked into you. I don't want nobody but you. And it's like, all right, well, I'm still going to wait. And then she did this more and say, okay, and now I'm going to ask her to close up. Like, boy, you want her or you don't. Stop playing. Hi, Erica. Nina, I was shocked. I mean, not really. Like, I get why. But it's like, y'all, that's actually more Alan coded than Nick coded. So I was just shocked that people that were Nicolandrians, oh yeah, you're gonna have to rewatch. Cause you gotta empty it. I'm not trying to be shady. So I'm really not. I'm gonna have a video about this because I do think that people, I wonder when people perceive Conrad as like having this big heart and like being like, the first thing the boy said to her in the very first scene when they interacted was, I liked you better with glasses. Hi, Anika. And then when they're sitting down, like he does little like diggy, he says dig stuff all the time. I'm not seeing nobody if we're keeping it a bug bee, but I'm saying that as Nicolandrians, I'm shocked by the Conrad love over Jeremiah. Because Conrad is much more Alan coded than, hi Mika, than Nick coded. But like he makes little digs at her, he gaslights her when they're talking on the dot, or when they're talking about Conrad is not attractive at all in my opinion. No. When they're talking after they almost kissed on the dock, he's, oh, did that happen? Like, why the fuck are you gaslighting her? Why are you acting like you don't fucking know that shit happened? Like, I just can't. I just can't be. Here's the question though. Did Conrad actually, it is on Prime Video. Is it that Conrad grew out of being a man child, or that one, he's older? And two, he just still doesn't fucking talk about his feelings. So, I mean, I guess I would say, I'm not trying to spoil it for anybody, y'all, but like the fact that you're making this confession to me the night before or 2 nights before my wedding, is that not childish as fuck? You couldn't express some feelings before now? Or when he was like, no, I think Jeremiah was, I mean, I don't prefer either of them, y'all, right? But if I was going to choose, it would be Jeremiah. When he's driving through the town, season 3, he's driving through the town. He's acting like, I can't take you into town because, oh, it's just so, it's too challenging to be around you. Like, Ryan, that's Jeremiah. Well, the curly hair blonde one, right? Jeremy is not a hoe. Y'all are giving him a bad rap for no reason. It definitely is giving Love and Basketball. And I hate Love and Basketball as a love story. It's not a love story. It was a humiliation ritual. Belly is the girl character, and the fact that not he's always genuinely confused. He's like, I can't even be in the car with you. It's too much for me to handle. Like, I don't want no man that acts like that about me. If you fucking about me, then be about me. And then when he is driving into town and he sees her, it's like this big moral life dilemma to pull over and pick her up. Like, Conrad, you too old for this shit, sir. You have graduated from college at this point. You are now doing clinicals, sir. You too old for this behavior. If you feeling it, then just feel it. If you feeling it, just feel it. See, I didn't perceive it that way at all, V. Tell me how Jeremiah schemed, lied, and manipulated. Tell me how. Mtia. But depression and anxiety don't make you emotionally unavailable. They make you depressed and anxious, right? Like, those are different things. They don't make you a gaslighter. Those are different things. Hi, Lambdy. Right? So it's like, I can be depressed and anxious. That doesn't mean that I'm emotionally unavailable. And I say Jeremiah. He shows up more in the way that Nick shows up than Conrad does. Hi, Brooke. She's engaged to Jeremiah. I feel like his relationship with his father and the failing of their marriage messed him up. Absolutely, Mika, I agree. And your trauma is not an excuse to be a shitty partner. If you're going to be a shitty partner, then just don't be a partner. Deal with your shit. That's not fair. V, I think so. I mean, I'm on the last episode. I'm on the very last episode. I'm like halfway through. It's when they realize that nobody knows where Belly is. That's where I am. So for me, it's like, yeah, I get all of that about Conrad. And honestly, all of them, they all have trauma. Again, they all have shit. And deal with your shit or don't be in the relationship, though. You know what I mean? I felt like no one saw Conrad, though, or met him where he was. He was the damsel in distress, not Belly. I mean, to be fair, I have a hard time feeling sympathy for boys when they are so... He was so coddled. And so I guess it is hard for... With the way that his mom... Their mom was definitely a boy mom. And so with the way that she was about him, I just don't... I can't appreciate... Yes, she is, Anne. I can't appreciate him choosing. I agree, Mika. This is the summer I turned pretty. Does Jeremiah deal with his shit? I don't want to give too much away. Have you watched season 3 at all? I mean, do y'all care if I tell you? I'm one of those people that I can know exactly what happens and I'll still watch a show, but not everybody is like that. But I cannot appreciate you being so, if that's the case, then babes, just don't pursue me then. But don't do the breadcrumbing. Don't do that. Don't do that with me. Either be in it or don't. right? Even when they're having the conversation about almost kissing, and he's like, Emirates, clock that part. You know what I mean? Clock that part. Why she couldn't just date somebody? Why wasn't Cam in the running? Why wasn't Cam in the running? No, Stacey, season 3 just finished. So I will say this about whether or not Jeremiah got his shit together. I'm gonna say this. This is my perspective, right? I agree, MTia, but if we're just doing between the brothers. Hi, Barry with the fatty. I think if we're looking between the brothers, he's closer than Conrad is. Nikkei, if they are, I haven't seen him on Prime yet. Call Cam Cameron, because why are we even talking to these boys? So basically, I'm on the episode where, okay, let me say, I don't think there was a whole bunch of, I think that people are saying Jeremiah needs to get his shit together because they don't like the way that he's responded about some things. But I want y'all to acknowledge that he's valid in feeling some of the things that he felt. Do y'all feel like he's not entitled to feel how he feels? All of her people, Tashina, all of her people. Do y'all feel like he's not valid to feel how he feels? I really am curious. Nikkei says he is. Because if you feel like he's not valid in feeling how he feels, being upset that his brother is, again, first season, him and Belly agreed to try. They're going to try. They've already made out twice. Now here come Conrad kissing her on the beach and now they're going to be a couple. I would be fucking mad. I would be hurt and upset by that. Then y'all break up. You and I finally reconnect after me feeling abandoned by you as my friend because shit was so hard and you fucked me over, right? I'm finally reconnecting with you. We're finally rekindling this romance. Now we've been together all these years. I'm ready to marry you. My brother tells you 2 days before our wedding that he makes this big proclamation of being in love with you. You finally admit that you've been feeling something for him since fucking Christmas, but still accepted my proposal. I'm going to be upset about that. How did he treat her during the engagement? What did he do during the engagement? I don't know that I think it's just that he wanted a win over Conrad. I think that he thought it was we're going back to season 1. It was his opportunity to actually pursue her because Conrad had basically been like, nah, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't do it. So, okay, now it's finally out of the way. I'm going to try. And now Conrad kissed you and you abandoned me. I think it's unfair to say that Jeremiah is like having an inappropriate emotional reaction to that. And Miriam, to your point, it's giving Nick, right? And like, you kissed me and then you said, no, I just want to be friends. I'm going to stay in this other relationship. And then what did he do? Obviously, the man was hurt. His mama's dying. But I guess tell me what you think he did in the engagement. Like, the cake situation, her working overtime, he didn't consider her, but she did him for the wedding. I mean, okay, so V, I will say this. I feel like a lot of that was, I have a theory about why it looked like that. It's complicated. So I'm going to say a couple of things. Number one, I think that this was the writers trying to communicate to us that they were too young to be married. And so they were highlighting and heaping on just how immature and unthoughtful he was because he was so young. I feel like that's what they were trying to give us, because that feels like a real departure from how he acted season 1 and season 2. That didn't make any sense to me. Christina, exactly. Season 1, she only initially entertained Jeremiah because she thought Conrad didn't want her. And she should have said no from jump. She should have just let him pine from jump. Because she knew that it was never going to be him. It was always going to be Conrad. And that was unfair to Jeremiah from the very beginning. And this goes back to, again, how Jeremiah was so unseen in his family dynamic as well, that he also was willing to accept the breadcrumbs. He was also willing to accept the crumbs, just like she was. Just like she was. But I think they're both trash. If I'm honest, and she definitely should not even be, girl, why are we even dating brothers? That's because his mom was a fucking weirdo to Sheena. She started shipping them when they were like 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, can you not? Nina, exactly. Okay, V. I think I'm still gonna struggle to feel like it erases everything from season 1 and season 2, even if he has a really shitty moment. But maybe it's gonna be something that's like a bomb drop. The show is called The Summer I Turned Pretty. Maybe it's gonna be something that's like a bomb drop. It won't change my mind, Mia. I think it's gonna be really hard for me to forget how Conrad has acted season 1 and season 2 in relationship to her versus how Jeremiah did. Even if you have fucked up moments, because the reality is you are gonna have fucked up moments in a relationship. Now again, I don't know what happened yet. I don't know what happened. Okay. But I mean, it never should have been between two brothers to begin with if we want to keep it a buck. That's weird. Somebody was saying on my last live, like, if these were black people, they would be cousins. Hi, Lib, they would be cousins. We wouldn't be shipping them. Don't be weird. Like, girl. She just wanted Belly to be her daughter so badly that it was by any means necessary. Because if we keep it a buck, Susanna encouraged both of them boys to pursue her. Girl, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hi, Confused Vagabond. Fontaine, like, where is the adult intervention? Thank you, Liv. Like, yeah, yes, Confused Vagabond, but I'm about to wrap it up on them. But yeah, Nicolandrians, I was very shocked to see y'all be a team. Oh, baby, Mia. They need individual therapy. They need couples therapy. They need family therapy. They need relationship therapy for the friendships. They need to just do like a fucking like long ass weekend intensive. And then also keep doing ongoing. And that's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, y'all, it's a lot going on over here. Okay? The kid knowing that his daddy cheated on his mama. I think so too. The knowing that the daddy cheated on the mama dying from cancer. This is her second time having it. It's a lot. The dads don't never come up to spend the summer with their fucking kids. I just don't. My husband is too engaged of a father. Him not spending the entire. You gonna come up one day over the summer to see your kids? I don't understand that. I feel the same way, Jar2. So it's a lot going on. And it's not about me comparing the bad card things at all. Okay, Shayla. Like their relationship, nobody's relationship is like how the relationship is. I'm really comparing the men, if anything, number one. But I'm also just saying I'm shocked, Nicolandrians, that if you like Nick, you would prefer Conrad. That shocks me. Because season 1 and season 2, Jeremiah is not giving Alan, and Conrad is not giving Nick. So I just don't understand. I mean, I do. I get it. The yearning, the pining, the love above all. Like, pushing through, making it. Like, I get that part. You know what I mean? Obviously, duh. But like the actual behaviors, they're not, I don't know, y'all. I'm judging. But I love y'all, so that's okay. Birdie, I mean, to be Nina. The whole first and second season, it is her yearning and him withholding. It's not until the third season that he's, oh my God, Belly, it's always been you. I'm sorry. He's a fictional character. I can make fun of him. Oh, yay, Fontaine. For real, and like, okay, Alan. When she was in Casa, oh, Shelly, bring Shelly back. She get back. I don't know if I could just, I don't know. Okay, let me stop. Because, sir. I can't. Have I seen the think pieces about the fan Carthines not being in a real relationship? User, are you asking me that question? And I don't know what the rest of that statement's supposed to be. I haven't seen the think pieces, to be perfectly honest. I don't be giving a fuck what people have to say. This is what I was going to say to you, Tata. Like, I am looking at your video. I am strongly considering responding to it. I want to say that, like, I guess maybe I didn't think about this at the time. Hi, Nikisha. I didn't think about this at the time. Hi, Savannah. But I know that, like, as a clinician, I don't get the same level of investment in, like, people's opinions about the couples. Like, for me, it's like, hi, Sola. I observe the behaviors. I can talk about the behaviors, but ultimately, I don't really give a shit what happens. Like, no shade. Like, I'm just not invested at that level. Like, so when I say, like, oh, I could see this or I could see that, like, because I can, but I actually don't care one way or the other what happens. And that's because as a clinician, you know how often I sit in therapy sessions with clients and we talk about the things for weeks in a row before it changes. So, like, I don't, sometimes months in a row before anything actually changes. So for me, it's like I don't get really invested in the outcome as much as I am interested in the behavior. So when I be seeing the think pieces about whether or not they're a real couple or whatever, I haven't. So it's like I just, oh, Tata, your video that you tagged me in about what nickname should I call her? About what's the princess that has about Rapunzel? That's what I'm gonna call her, because she a princess locked in a castle, locked up in a tower right now. The video about Rapunzel. So I've been trying to decide whether or not I'm gonna, like, because, like, really my opinion is, like, I think that we can zoom out and say, like, no, we're not expecting too much as, like, Black women. But for her explicitly, I don't really give a shit. No shade. No, I'm not trying to be shady. Like, I just truly don't care at that level. Even honestly, like, Nick and Alandria, and I love them. If they broke up tomorrow, I'd be like, okay, like, I don't care, you know? Like, it wouldn't make me sad. I'd be like, oh, wow, yeah, that's crazy. Yes, Camilla, we're talking about Tark. So it's like, I don't have the same level of, like, investment that I think some people do, even though, like, I am very curious. I'm interested in the behaviors. Just as a clinician, I have a lot of practice around detachment on outcomes, if that makes sense. Good evening, love note. Y'all, I'm going to turn on my light. Give me 2 seconds. Locked up in a tower, for real. For real. She is. Po baby. Po little tink tink. Po little tink tink. Po little tink tink. Hate that for her. Stink a butt. Hate that. Exactly, Christina. It's like, and that's I think that's also like an advantage that I have as a clinician, right? Is it's like I know that sometimes I saw that Kiana Volant. I'm talking about Clark. You know what it is, Shayla, is that one time I was making a video about them and I accidentally called them Tark, and so now I've just been saying that ever since. And Nikisha, I don't even know. Listen, y'all, I'm not as a like. I haven't seen his interviews, Mika. Nothing is new with Tark. I mean, I don't know what you last know. I don't know what the most recent thing is that you know. But there was some discourse today on the interwebs around the fact that Rapunzel was brushing that horse and 3D captioned it free labor. So there was some discourse around that today. On the interwebs. And so basically what I'm saying is like, yeah, like I can point out the behaviors. I can point out how it's financial abuse, emotional abuse. She named her queen. I can point out all of that and still not necessarily be attached to the outcome. And I know that some of you all in here, you have a similar background to me. So a lot of you all probably can relate to this, right? But when you've worked with people in like DV situations and people dealing with addiction, people dealing with like really severe mental health disorders, you know that like you can hold the space, you can talk about the behavior, but you can't get attached to the outcome because you truly don't know what's going to happen. Like you cannot be a clinician and have a savior complex. So when it comes to these islanders, I don't necessarily want to save any of them from their circumstances. I can look at it, I can observe it, I can point it out for the larger public to do something else with, but I don't necessarily feel like I want to rescue her from her dynamic, if that makes sense. I don't know, Camilla. Honestly, it almost always seems to be like a little punchy. Hi, Fancy. Hi, Lisa. It always usually feels a little punchy, if I'm honest. So y'all, it's like, so yeah, it's not even like I just be like so disinterested. It's just like I know how to like detach from the outcome because I've seen too many things. You know what I mean? And like that's where if I'm gonna feel grief, that's where it is. It's with the people that I've sat with in my office for months, and then we still lose you. Right? It's with people that I've sat with you for years and you haven't been able to leave that dynamic yet. Like that's where my empathy and my grief and my sadness would be. Not with strangers. No shade. No shade. But I really do think she has like at least a 3-year bid. And that's Howard. I know. Love Island Games. Okay, y'all asked me if I saw the Love Island Games lineup. I did. Birdie, I think at least 3. Thank you, M. Thank you. I do think it's at least 3, y'all. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I did see the Love Island lineup. Not excited to see any of the ones that I know except maybe Andreina. I'm excited for Andreina to get another shot. Thank you, Perpy. Hi, K Boogie. And so for me, it's like Shayla. Kiana, that was just a leaked possibility. If you're talking about the video I made, that's why I just said allegedly in the caption. Y'all, I don't want to see a lot of the people like Andrea. I'm okay with not being there. Charlie, the fascist, is there. Kendall. And 6'8", Avoidant 6'8". Like I could have done without any of them. You know, personally. And that's not to say that we won't have like to y'all's points about like Hannah coming and getting like a second shot, or who else did y'all say? I don't remember who else. But like they could be bombshells, exactly, Ty. Like they could come on still as bombshells during the season. So we'll just have to see. Sparkle, yeah, if she has a boyfriend, then you're right, she won't come. I don't know if she does. Child. Thoughts on Charlie? I don't think about Charlie, Ann, but what are you what are you explicitly asking? Not as long as Kendall. Shayla. Kendall, he giggles too much for me. What you so happy about all the goddamn time? No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke for legal purposes. It's fine if men are happy. Okay? I'm just joking. Millie Mae, no, for real. For real. Like he's so, I mean, I guess he makes sense on Love Island Games in a way because he was such, I guess, Anne. I guess. I will say that like, he might be good for games because he was such a like shit starter, pot stirrer. You know what I mean? So he actually might be really cut out for games if you watch season 1. You know, if he can be a little bit more honest about why he's in there, you know what I mean? His messiness might be good for like if he finds a person that's messy too and they team up and they strategize, you know what I mean? Like it could be good for the games. Not Tyreek who they thought Ace was. I'm gonna have to watch and see, y'all. I am very excited to meet the Islanders and see what I see about them. Y'all, I have not watched Alan's interviews. I'm not even sure if I'm going to watch Alan's interviews. Subs, I said that I was gonna open up the panel for y'all. It's almost 7:30. We've been on for almost an hour, y'all, and we only have 25K likes. That is unusual. I am not finished with season 1, and you know what, Gay? I don't keep up with her. I don't keep up with her. I know a lot of y'all are, Mia. Hi, Gigi. Yeah, exactly. To Camilla's point, I don't give a fuck about what a lot of people have to say, and that's not just. I'm not enough of a fan to like care. You know. Thank you, Gigi. Hi, Tiana. Like, I don't actually give a shit about anything that you have to say. I would be shocked if you said something that I was like, wow, I'm glad that I learned this. Thank you, Bunny Smiles. That's so funny. Like, okay, he's a ringleader and he owns it. It's going to be interesting then, Ivy, to see how the other Islanders choose to strategize around that. Okay, Ivy, so you're saying Alan's doing a lot of PR. I will say that, oh, thank you so much, M, that it definitely seems like somebody has been in his ear. And I will say that because I watched, one of y'all sent me, God, who was it? I don't remember. I feel like it was maybe, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, bye. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Somebody sent me a video of him on the red carpet when he was like actually being interviewed by the cute girl in the cute little dress. And what he said was, clock it still, clock it. I did watch it, Love Note. Are you talking about her live that she did? I watched her live, if that's what you're talking about. But anywho, somebody sent me his interview on the red carpet at the VMAs. And I noticed that when the Speedy interview came up, he pretty much was like, he gave a very PR response to it. Like, it was clear somebody was like, keep it cute. Don't add nothing else. But then, I don't know if everybody else noticed this, but then, when they asked his favorite Mariah song, thank you, they asked his favorite Mariah song, why are you so obsessed with me? And then looked right into the camera and like, say it again. That felt like a more PR appropriate shade. If you're going to be shady, it needs to be PR appropriate. Keep it cute. Keep it cute. Keep it where people are like, well, maybe it's that, but I'm not sure. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That was the conversation somebody needed to have with his ass before that Speedy interview. Miriam. What he doesn't understand, I think, is that a lot of the discourse surrounding his last interview was simply in response to what he had said about Mick and Alandria, not about, like, anyway. Funny enough, he's obsessed with himself, right? Right? Now, I want to talk about whether or not Alan is going out bad. I made a video for you subscribers, and it was giving sad, if I'm honest. It was giving sad. Shucking and jiving. It like literally disturbed my whole body. And for me, what really sealed it, right? The light is out still. And that's what I said. As a performer, I know what it looks like when you're performing on your face more than it's like real on your face. And if you've ever been a performer, then you know what that looks like. My whole body, Tashina, I was like, oh my God, like I was having a very authentic reaction, but I was like, oh my God, I wish I could like record this, but it's like, then it wouldn't be like my authentic reaction. But I was just like I feel like I was holding my breath when it like came across my feed on Threads. I was like, what is this? And it did not feel to me, it did not feel like they were laughing with him. And I didn't like that. Honestly, I didn't like that. It was so iconic. Like, you're not being real right now. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And then them laughing when he like did his little ace dance that he has or whatever. It didn't feel good to me. It didn't feel like we're all in this together. That's not what it felt like to me. And I didn't like that. With all my critiques of him, I still didn't like that. Because I'm never going to be happy at watching Black people be consumed, right? It's why I made the video about Janae being consumed, because whatever I think about the relationship, the person, whatever, there are certain ways that I do think we should engage with each other publicly. Nope. Exactly, Love Note. Hi, baby. And I personally did not like that. It was giving, oh, thank you. Exactly, Gigi. Agreed. Now he just feels like a puppet and it feels embarrassing. They were definitely laughing at him and not with him. They're not taking him as seriously as he takes himself. A minstrel show. All of those things are what I felt, y'all. And again, to me, what sealed it is when I went to his page, because I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe there's more data. Maybe, because I want to check, just because I felt it in my body, and I do trust the things that I feel in my body, but I'm always willing to take in more information and have my mind changed. I always am willing to do that. And then when I went to his page, in the 2 most recent posts, okay, I'm going to talk about that too, Gigi, and then I'm going to open up the panel. Y'all, let's do 10K more likes so we can open up this panel. It's been almost an hour, I think about an hour. When I went to his page and saw the 2 most recent posts after his Speedy interview, I know, user. And One was a Ciroc ad, like the Ciroc Sports Club or some shit like that. I don't know, whatever. And then he went to, and then the other one was the Burger King commercial. And in both of those, as like in the Ciroc thing, he is doing this, and then you see the white woman also doing it and laughing. I don't like that shit, bro. I don't like it. And then in the Burger King commercial, you know, he's a background character. In both of those situations, he's a background character. He's not the main character. And then in the Burger King commercial, he also does it again. It's giving, like y'all said, do that little dancey dance. It's giving, show them what you be doing. And it would be one thing if it was black people all doing it together. I'm sorry, but racial dynamics matter in this case. I did not like watching white people engage with this black man in that way. It felt gross. Like, it felt gross. And he's becoming a caricature in a way that I know he did not think was going to happen. Brianna, one of them came across my threads, and then I went to his Instagram and I saw the other two. Anika, we're talking about whether or not Alan is going down bad. Oh, thank you so much. And it was giving, modern day step and fetch. Like, Tata, like I feel, and for me, it's like, that's the thing, Still Museum. Can you clock that? He's losing ownership of his image. And as someone that was so intentional about the way he crafted his image, even when he went on to Speedy's live, I know that his intention was to firmly root himself in the image of, I am a person that stands up and says the courageous thing. I keep it real. I keep it a buck. I'm authentic. And instead now what we've seen in every instance with him since then has been a lack of authenticity. And I know that that's not what he wanted. And it makes me sad for him. Almost like the monkey with cymbals wound up and we're just watching. Exactly. I haven't seen his latest interviews, Anika. I will watch them at some point. Because I said that I would make videos about him. And so I'm going to say this, right? Because y'all know that we do nuance over here. For me, I'm still not fucking with him and the things that he did. Do not misunderstand. Don't misunderstand. I'm not fucking with that shit. That shit was weird. Okay? It was odd. It was hateration. And this is when Issa Rae's I'm rooting for everybody black would apply for me. Because I'm never going to want to see you out here being taken advantage of and made a fucking fool out of and made a mockery of. That I'm not fucking with. I don't care. I don't care. And I understand it is the bed that you made. I understand that. I understand that it's the bed that you made. And I'm still not fucking with it. And so what I hope is that this is his moment where very hard, as hard as it may be, he learns the fucking lesson. Exactly, Kiana. And that's what we do over here all the time, right? Volant, I think you're right. And unfortunately, oh my God, now y'all done got me on my soapbox. Unfortunately, also with Alan, though, what we've seen is an insulation by a very particular demographic of black people and how that type of demographic likes to show up that actually does not encourage accountability, that gives boy mom energy. My son is my king, or whatever the fuck they be hashtagging. It's giving that. And so my hope is that people in his real fucking life don't actually move like that. Because if they do, he has no reason to actually grow. He's going to keep being, the little kid at the family barbecue. He's gonna stay pigeonholed in that role. And that makes me sad. Like, sad because I don't like seeing black people do that and experience that. You know what I mean? Somebody asked me where I think he goes from here. Where I think he needs to go from here is to a goddamn management company and therapy. No, I agree, Anika. Like, again, it's the bet that he laid in. And it's like, okay, so I'm a parent, right? Y'all know that about me. Sometimes my kids make dumbass choices. And they do have to deal with the consequences of their choices. And I still get to sit you down and have the conversation. Okay, so what did we learn? How do we move forward? How do we grow? Right? How do we evolve? How do we develop from this? And so that's what I hope for him in his real life, is that he has that. My understanding is that he doesn't have a management company. He just has a PR company. Are those not different things? Hi, Mimi. Is it right management team? I thought he only had a PR team. Y'all tell me. I don't know. I'm sorry. Siobhan, Tina, why are you trying to make us grown-ups? LOL. Because we do nuance, right? So it's like, again, yes, he absolutely made that bet and he has to lay in it. And I hope that he has people in his life that love him enough to be like, baby, come on. And that the people in his real life are not acting like the fan base. Because the reality is, while a bunch of them are mad at us because, oh, y'all are haters or whatever, we were the closest to holding him accountable in all of this, right? We were the ones saying like, oh, hold on, pull them coattails. Wait a minute, babes. You're moving weird. And I think people don't understand that correction is also love. I don't understand that. And I know I say all the time to y'all, I feel like more people should be involved in extracurricular activities so they can learn how to take constructive criticism, because you critiquing me means that you think I can actually be better. If you thought I was ass, you would just put me in the back. You wouldn't be trying to give me feedback. You would just put me in the back. You're only offering feedback to me because you think that I can be better. And I don't know why people don't understand that, if I'm honest. Do I think that Michelle feels the same as Alan about what? Like, about what exactly? Okay, my subs, the panel is... Okay, my subs, the panel is open. Not the answer is yes, and yes. Y'all are silly.
Oh, it's good.
Y'all are silly. Oh, Shy, we're talking about whether or not Alan is coming out bad. And now the panel has just joined to share some thoughts as well. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Tata. Oh, shoot. Hold on.
Hello.
Okay, y'all. So, hold on, because now it's a whole bunch of Mo's requests. And give me just a second. I did not see Blue's new live from yesterday. I don't think so. I think the last live I saw was from this weekend. From Sunday. Hi, Love Note.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
I'm
Love
doing
Note,
well.
fancy seeing you here. I feel like it's been so long since I've seen you.
Right? Hi, Gigi. How are you?
I'm good. It's been like forever.
I know, it really has. It really has. I feel like it's been ages.
Right? What's it been, like 45 minutes?
I think so.
Hi, P.
I think so. Gigi, I'm starting to see you more than I do the rest of my family.
Same. Low key.
Yeah, period. Those are my girls up there. Period. I love that.
I just saw your video and oh my god, I was literally thinking the same thing you were saying without even seeing that video of him dancing. I was just thinking, I'm tired of hating on him because this is embarrassing. Like, it hurts me. Like, it's gross. I feel gross.
Oh, Michelle walked the runway, Franny. Good for her. Thank you, Aubrey. I see you, Ann. It just takes a minute for it to like load. Good for her. That's awesome. Do you know what brand she walked for? No, I don't know who that is. I am Zoe. I don't know who that is, Dream Girl. Okay, so subscribers, y'all know that so those of y'all that don't know, I am reformatting the way that I am doing things. I had to get my life together, okay? Because the ADHD was kicking my ass and I really needed a routine. So against all of my normal ways of being, I decided to break out my fucking calendar and actually calendar some shit. So I'm I am actually sending out like a video. I'm actually sending out a couple of videos every day, but one of them explicitly tells you like what is happening, what you can expect in the week. And so my Tuesday lives, I will be live on Tuesdays now, on Fridays now, and on Sundays still. So Tuesday lives will be open to the public, but my panel will be reserved for subscribers on Tuesdays. Panelists are reserved for subscribers on Tuesdays because it's a fucking lot of y'all, okay? It was cute to rotate out when I had like 15, 20 subscribers. Now I have like almost 200. And so sometimes the requests get a little overwhelming and it gets to be a lot. So Tuesdays is reserved for subscribers. Fridays, panel is open to everyone, and I'll have more details about that on Friday. Thank you so much, Love Note. It's very like, overwhelming. Okay, Shayla, tell us why you think that. And then on Sundays, it will be also open panel to everybody again. But just so y'all know. Thank you so much for saying that, Love Note. Very unexpected, but I feel always so grateful for this community that we're building. Okay, panel. Is Alan going out bad?
Yes.
Yes, but let me start with my PSA
shameful.
before the rest of the panel gets
Okay. Yes, please. Go ahead.
right. So
Hold on,
welcome.
Gigi. I just wanted to say I've been loving your lives.
Oh, thank you.
With me's. I like the story about your father.
It's my work with me, as you said. We'll get into that on another day because my dad is dramatic, even in his dying moments. So guys, welcome to the Teenaverse, right? We love being here. If you love being here, tap this damn screen because there's no reason why you shouldn't be tapping. If I've got carpal tunnel and cubital tunnel and I can tap, so can you. So tap your screen, show your love to your panelists because, you know, we love being here with you guys. Make sure you give Tina for all of her hard work and for hosting this safe space in which she creates a safe space in which everybody can give their opinions and gives great takes. If you have not subscribed already, Tina has 2 subscription tiers. You need to take a look into it. The longer you subscribe, the cheaper it is. We have our Yappers and Tappers, and then we have our Discord and book club. YouTube is live. If you cannot subscribe at the moment, YouTube is live. Big C did his big one and got all the videos uploaded. Go ahead, click in the link on the bio to get to that other platform to subscribe to those YouTube videos. All of the lives are recorded and uploaded there. There's also a Google form when you go to Tina's profile. If you click on this Google form, you can submit questions for her, for Big C. These questions will be answered on Sunday lives. Again, if you want to be part of the panel club, go ahead and join the subscription. You can join in the profile, or if you look at the bottom of your screen to the left, of where you type in your type box, you'll see a little star. That star will let you subscribe. It'll lead you to the subscription tier, so make sure you check on that. All right, keep tapping, y'all.
Thank you so much, Gigi. I will say this to y'all, and the larger video is coming out tomorrow, but y'all are in here, so you get the information beforehand. But book club is officially starting as of next Wednesday. So if you're not on the Discord and you're part of Think Tank, please go join the Discord. I already dropped the reading into the Discord channel. We're starting I was about to lie. It is easy breezy because it's an article, but it is a very rich read. We're starting with Audre Lorde, The Uses of Anger, but then we're going to go to something cutesy. It is actually a romance novel, and that author has agreed to actually come into our book club and chat with us as we've like pulled apart some of the characters. So I'm really excited for that. And I will say that I am planning to incentivize the book club for the first full reading of the book that we're going to read. So even if you're like, I don't know if I want to subscribe, or I don't want to give my money to TikTok, because people have told me that too. If you buy the text, if you buy the book and you show me proof of purchase, I will give you access to the book club to do the full book with us for the first reading. So I'm very excited. Okay, that's my little plug about that. All right, panel. He's going out bad. Can we go from top to bottom? Anne, are you ready, my friend?
Yes, I am. I had to pause Ace. I'm watching the boardroom interview. I also saw him in another interview today called Picture This. It was 14 minutes on YouTube, if y'all want to check it out. He was just jarring and talking at the same time. Nothing notable on that interview though. But what I have noticed on both of the comments, very positive. We love Ace. The Picture This one was any women in here that supports Ace. 84 likes.
You go
Mad.
back sleep, Jojo.
I'm talking.
So,
Yeah.
Camilla.
Ace is very well liked. Ace is very well liked. That's what I'm seeing. Even though he is getting backlash, he does have people standing for him. So I was a little surprised at the comments. I'm not gonna lie. Other than wait 1 second.
Lady Russell had no, you don't need to. We're just talking a bit like we're kind of talking in general. I think you'll be able to like catch on. And to y'all's point, yeah, the boy moms will show up and show out. Okay, go ahead.
Why are the boy moms showing up and showing out? Is this regarding Alan?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a
the
boy
thing.
mom and I'm not doing all of that. I'm not biased like that. That's weird, bro.
Aren't you a mom that has a son? That's the difference. Versus
Exactly.
boy mom.
Oh, clock it, P. Yeah, that's actually very wise, P.
Jojo.
And y'all are right. The viewership has gone down. I noticed that his last two posts had like, at least when I looked, like less than 60,000 likes on them, which I thought was
I think the algorithm may be messing with you. It happens to my other friend who be
really.
doing lives. It does happen.
And
Like
I'm
the
so
viewership
sorry.
goes down sometimes.
I am so sorry. I am at work and about to get off my break. Would you mind if I go first?
Yes. P, please go first, and then I'll come right back.
I'll circle back.
Okay. All
I'm
right,
so
go
sorry.
ahead, Fred. No, don't be sorry.
Yeah, I just watched that video of yours about Ace from earlier today, and nothing else because I'm at work because I have a job. and and truthfully, like I was literally feeling the exact same thing you were saying, like because I was just like I'm tired, not necessarily like oh I'm tired of hating on Ace, but I'm like I'm tired of seeing him do this to himself because just like you said in the video, like if you critique someone, you care for them and you believe that they can do better. And I think a lot of us who were extremely hurt by his actions were so hurt because we expected better of him, not necessarily like oh like star wise like what he's gonna do and whatever, but as a person, you know what I mean, as a friend really. And it's so extremely disappointing to see him double down like this. And it's sad too because it's going to reflect on his personal life, and it's horrible too because of the racial dynamics of it all. and it's just uncomfortable, man. It's like God, like I don't know. It's like it's be like oh it's not like oh he's saying like oh I'm pro black, I'm like black man, I'm this and that, whatever. But that's kind of like his vibe, or like that's how he positions himself. So I'm like, bro, if that's true, you would know that. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, never go against like a white man, but I'm like, do it smarter. You know what I mean? Like, I would have done it smarter. Because of course people are going to support him over you, especially when you are actually doing wrong, right? Like, I think it was just kind of embarrassing because I was like, bro, did you really think I would just back you because you're black? Like, that doesn't add. I mean, it means a little bit of something. It contextualizes things and how I think about it. But it doesn't change the fact that you're a snake. and you were either a plant or you were willingly fed plenty things from production and went through. Like I have a little theory that he was either misled by production or he kind of fell into their trap as the show went, and like outside of like the show when he was talking about it, instead of saying like, oh, I was manipulated by production, I feel bad, because he has a it's clear to me that he has a need for control. He reframed it as, oh, I was working with production, as if he has more agency in that situation, where I doubt he did, because that's, to me, I think he's smart, but I don't think he's that smart, unless he was like specifically planted by production, which I doubt. They just wanted to use his followers and just move a little bit of things, but they weren't telling him exact directions. So I think he was manipulated, but because he has a need for control, he then reframed it as, oh, I wasn't manipulated, I was in cahoots, which, although it made him look bad, like morally bad, it still upheld his ego in a sense, because we know his ego is a big thing. So that's my theory, and I've been watching Wellington's live, and his episode 1 live is like 6 hours, and it's so good, because I've been clocking things too. I'd be like, pause, what? Like, it's really interesting, so I really recommend everyone go if you have time, because it's long, and he's done other episodes continually, but it's really good because he's like taking notes or whatever. And I think it's a good mental exercise from all this brain rot. But yeah, I'm just deeply disappointed in Ace. Truthfully, I want him to. I mean, I want to either stop seeing him completely, because if I have to see him and it's this, I'd rather not see him at all. Because this is horrific. Like comparing it to like Nickelodeon at the VMAs, like this is like painful. Like it's painful. I'm done.
Thank you, Pete. Thanks for joining while you were at work and being able to chat while you were on your break with us. Yeah, I agree. I think it is painful to watch at this point. Yeah. And do you want me to circle back to you? Are you ready, friends, to share the rest of your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hold on, Ma. What I was gonna say is, so I'm watching Ace in this boardroom interview, and this man just said, my favorite part of the Love Island is that, building my relationship with Shelly. Nigga, please. Let us not forget that you played from the very beginning. Now, another shout out to Miss Amaya Papaya. Girl, fuck you too. But thank you for the information from the Cheap Soch interview she did today. However, guys, I want to say it's so 14 minutes. Check it out on YouTube. I'm gonna type all of this in the chat too for all of y'all. I've been catching these interviews; they keep falling into my YouTube. And in the cheap shots, Amaya pointed out that Alan had 5 connections. Let's count them out. Yulisa, number 1. I'm in no particular order. If I don't go in order, sorry about that. He had Yulisa, Amaya. That's actually in order. And then I think it was Coco. Then who else? Vanna, which was, accidental a little bit. And last but not least, Shelly. I actually did go in order. All right, thank you for the Cheap Shots interview, Amaya, for Lil T. They asked Amaya if who she thinks is like not messy, but they were asking who on the island we feel like wasn't authentic, something along those lines. She took the shot. She said, I'm trying to be better. I don't want to answer. Did you not want to say Honda Civic? Did you not want to say you think you're the messy one? Oh my God, thank you, Love Note. Thank you, Tata, for the gifts. Yeah, what the bleep is going on? And Ace in this boardroom interview, my fans, my followers want me to go back to dancing with the men on Pakistan, and the other rest of the followers are trying to see what I'm trying to do that's new. And then he keeps talking about he wanna act. He said it today in both Picture This and Boardroom. I'm like, you think you got the chops for that, my guy? And the very popular comments is, oh, he has the great personality for this. He has just charisma. Unpopular opinion. I know a lot of Leos. My father is a raggedy Leo himself. I gotta say they're very performative. I don't believe anything this man does. I feel like he does stuff to have a good image. He's helping people dance. I'm just spreading peace and positivity on TikTok. Yeah, okay. By the way, shout out to Babar. I found out about Babar, a guy he was dancing with in Pakistan. He was so cute. I saw some of the dance videos. I'm not gonna lie, the man is talented in his little dance. But also let's shout out Tina who pointed out that Alan has not been given main character energy. Oops. Sir, it's giving backup dancer. Lilac, you get it. I do have a raggedy little father. You get it. We're a club. Yes, shout out to Babar. So cute. Yeah, he's like, they show the little clips of him being on Jennifer Hudson's show. And though I don't watch The Summer I Turned Pretty, because I will not watch a white tea woman play ping pong between brothers. However,
Asian woman.
clap, she's Asian?
Yep, she's Asian. Yeah.
She's
They're white
Asian
boys.
playing a white tea woman?
No, she's an Asian woman playing an Asian woman. She's just with white boys.
Oh my God. The way that I saw the TikTok, I had assumed it was a white woman playing ping pong between brothers, and the way society does not judge white tea women for who they date. Sorry to that woman. I get that you're Asian, but I still don't think it's cool you're playing ping pong between white brothers. Listen, I ain't gonna judge you. I played ping pong before, but they wasn't brothers.
Her dad is white on the show. You're right, but she's bred as she looks like an Asian girl. She's bred as an Asian girl, but her dad is a white man on the show.
Well, technically, can we say she's white passing?
No, she looked like an Asian girl. She looks Asian.
Well, let's just say as the African American people or Black people, however you'd like to refer to us, we're still at the bottom of the totem pole, and she still gets no judgment for playing ping pong between brothers.
Oh yeah, she has close proximity to whiteness. Absolutely.
Who said that? Yes, Mila, we're talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty and the comparison between Love Island's Nick and Alan or Ace. Okay, that's all.
Well, her Ivy, that's funny. Thank you, and her real name is Isabel. Her nickname is Belly. Okay. Hi, Sheen. We are talking right now about whether or not, don't watch it, Lady Russell Hat. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Listen, at this point, I'm skeptical about all further recommendations because I'm only watching it because y'all told me to watch it and asked me to watch it.
Last thing I wanted to say, I was actually gonna give Ace grace. I really was, because he said he got a bad edit, and I fell for it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this Black man grace. Then he went and did that interview. I said I should have trusted my gut area when I knew that you was on some bull, because you've been playing in the island since day one. Let's also observe the fact that he chose Amaya when he wanted Shelly from day one. Why play around? Is he compared to Conrad? Conrad equals Ace? Okay, why play around Ace/Conrad when you could have gotten with her from the very beginning? Right? And then when Shelly was like, two can play at that game, shout out to Vivica A. Fox. Now you want to settle down?
Exactly.
Goodbye, Ace.
Okay. So sorry, Sheen. Yes, we're talking about right now. I'm asking my panel if Alan is going out bad. Is Ace going out bad? Y'all continue to like up the live, please, and thanks. Continue to give the panelists, as you have the ability to, obviously. But if you do, please do. I appreciate when y'all show love to them for the labor that they come up here and do. Sparkle, are you ready to go ahead and share your thoughts about whether or not Alan's going out bad and what you're noticing?
I am. Hi, Tina.
Hi, babes.
So yes, I think he is going out very, very bad. I think a couple things happened. So I actually just checked on my laptop. He does not have any management listed on his Instagram. And I also found he has a website, which actually looks very nice. Whoever designed his website did a good job with it. But I don't think he has representation, but maybe he just got PR consultation from somebody, because when he was on the carpet at the VMAs, one thing that he said that was interesting was that when asked about the Speedy interview, he was like, I'm still getting used to Hollywood. So I think people, whoever is advising him told him, don't say a single thing else about these people. Leave these people alone. And I also would not be surprised if his quote unquote friends that he mentioned in that Speedy interview also told him, leave our names out of your mess. Because I did watch the boardroom interview, and when he was asked about Love Island, he didn't say a lot about it. He wanted to change the topic quickly, but he was like, the only good thing was Shelly. So it's like his tune has changed from that Speedy interview when he was like, yeah, you know, Brian is my friend and Taylor is my friend and all of these people. He said no name outside of Shelly. So I don't know what's happening there, but I feel like his, you know, the people he thought were going to back him up trying to take down Nick and Alondria were probably like, you can sink your own ship, don't sink us with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And okay, this might be a hot take. I hope I don't get whacked for saying this, but Ace's personality on that red carpet, when he was just like doing all the dancing, singing, his personality reminds me a different shade of Kendall. Like Kendall's like his just weird persona that he puts on, being so extra and over the top, and I'm just so positive and I'm so fun. That's what Ace reminds me of when he goes into that mode. And I'm kind of on the wavelength of a lot of people where I never resonated with Ace throughout the entire show, starting with the Jeremiah stuff, starting with him choosing Amaya. But I don't want to see him go out this way. And I just feel like he doesn't have to. And he's just choosing to by not getting formal management, not really taking in the words that people are saying about him. But unfortunately, I don't see it changing. I think this is just what he's going to do. Sad thing.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, Sparkle. Yeah, it was a hard watch for me. I like subscribers, y'all saw the videos today. Like it was a very hard watch for me because all of the things that I named. So Mila, I will say that. Oh, go ahead, Sparkle. Go ahead.
Oh no, that was it.
Okay, I will say this, Mila, about like him wanting to be an entertainer. He also has said explicitly that he doesn't want to only be able to be a dancer, right? So the fact that he is getting pigeonholed so early, and I think this has to do with like how people are perceiving him as showing up authentically or not, and whether or not he becomes a liability to work with, right? Because of the things that he's saying. This is why I think he said the Speedy interview was his one and only interview. He wasn't doing no more interviews. And maybe what he now is going to say, well, I just meant I'm not doing any more interviews about Love Island. But I think he has to come back into the public eye and he has to rewrite that a little bit, you know? Do we know that he doesn't have management though? Or is Fall Guy same as production? I'm not sure what you mean on the second part. Yeah, and that's what I think he's exactly, and that's exactly what I would anticipate him saying, right? Because what he said was, it's my one and only interview. But now that he realizes he has to come and clean it up, now it's like, well, what I meant was it was my one and only Love Island interview, right? But I think he has to come back into the public eye and to clean up some things, you know, to be a little bit more media trained, right? And I do think that that's partially what Shelly could offer him in some ways because she is much more diplomatic. I've always said that, right? Like she definitely knows how to measure what she says because she's just much older than him, right? But again, he has to even feel like he needs to. And it sounds like maybe he is realizing he needs to. That said, it is disappointing to see him being pigeonholed in a way he doesn't want to be. He said, oh, Mila, I disagree. I think it did a number on his career in a way he did not expect. But I will say that he has said that he wants to be a mogul. He wants to diversify his bag. He wants to DJ. I want to dance. I want to maybe rap. I want to act. He wants to do all these things. And all he's done so far is this fucking dance. That's all he's done so far. And I know that's not what he wants for himself. I know it's not because he told us it's not what he wants for himself, you know? And so I think it actually is pretty sad to see him being typecast in this way, right? And it's pretty unfortunate. And I do think that interview was the start of that like assassination and he's going to have to work really hard to shift that tide again in his favor. And then I want to say this. Oh, thank you so much. I do want to say this one last thing, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna release your hands about Conrad. Y'all, as a clinician, I am telling you, and I don't know what y'all rationalize in your lives, but I am telling you, someone being depressed and someone being anxious does not make them emotionally avoidant or emotionally unavailable, nor does it make them do a pursue withdraw dynamic with you. That is not what causes that. Okay. Depression and anxiety can exist within a partner while still having a very healthy, happy relationship dynamic. So the way that he engaged with Shelly oh my Lord, look, I'm talking about Alan again. The way that he engaged with Belly cannot be reduced to his potential like mental health illnesses, right? We cannot make that the excuse in this instance, right? Like he needs support around that, but that doesn't explain him showing up that way. So if y'all have people in your lives that are like, well, I'm just depressed and that's why I'm emotionally unavailable, and that's why I wait until the last minute to do these like big romantic grand gestures when it feels inconvenient to you. Like that's not fair for them to weaponize it that way, because that's not what's making them show up that way. Okay. Love Note, will you give us your thoughts? Wait, Love Note, did you already give me your thoughts?
I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think so either. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Love Note. Quick. I just remembered. Amaya said that which relationship you think is gonna last. They put on the screen Shalace, Nicolandria, and Tark, and she said Tark and said that Clark is always at Taylor's house. WTF? Okay, bye. Sorry, girl.
No, okay. I want to say something about that, and then Love Note, I want you to go and you can say whatever you want about that. Plus, I want you to address Alan. Y'all don't be shocked by Amaya saying that. She was telling, and I'm gonna make a video about this for y'all subscribers explicitly. She was telling that man that she was in love with him because they had been fucking. Okay, she is not an authority on what determines the health and the longevity of a relationship. Okay, the fact that exactly, Anika, this should not be surprising. Of course, she would equate the amount of time that they're spending together as evidence of like, oh, they must be a strong couple, because she thought she was strong simply because she was fucking that man. I don't think she was in love either, but if she's saying it, you know what I mean? I got to take you at your word, right? I don't have enough evidence to say that she's a bald-faced liar about some stuff, but I think she might have thought she was, because some people, that's how they move, right? You get to fucking and you start thinking it's something more than what it is. No shade, right? Okay. Okay, Love Note, please give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I don't think she's someone that I would actually respect her outlook on what a strong, long-lasting relationship is going to be, based on just the kind of person she is, how she has moved in even being in a relationship with Brian, based on her emotional manipulation, intelligence, and all that. I have no respect for her and her outlook on who's gonna last. So yeah, don't nobody cares about Amaya and what she has to say. So we're really good on that. But as far as Alan, I do agree with you. I am looking to see, and with everyone else on the panel, I am looking forward to see how he does try to rebrand and rebuild what he himself has broken down. I feel like with him, to me, it goes back to the fact that he was producing. I didn't get to really, at least the soft side of him, where he does do charity for people, like he did that side of him is, I wish what he would have highlighted a bit more. But because he had bad intentions from the start, and he allowed himself to be used by the producers, so now I feel like he's again allowing himself to be used by these people. They're pulling him, so he's continually being a puppet, which is why he was on there on stage or wherever it was on the red carpet dancing, still being a puppet. You haven't learned from it. Not all opportunity is a good opportunity. You waited this long. to then put yourself in this area. You demolished it. Take a step back and rebuild. Just because MTV called didn't mean you have to be there. And that's what I like. Like I said, my outlook even on Shelly has changed. How Blue Centric said that she's a businesswoman, and he could really learn from looking at Shelly, and how she moved. I don't know why she wasn't at MTV, but I feel like you have to be strategic about your opportunity, and you have to show these people to at least give you some respect. Right now, he has lost that respect in the industry. He doesn't have that. So he's going to have to work really hard to get that back, not just in the industry, but also with people. Because with me, for me to support anything you do, I have to see that character change. The reason we like Nickelandria is because of their character. I feel like I need to see a character change. And to what you're saying is, I think the people in his lives are yes men. Because I feel like if they really were not yes men, they would have held him accountable. They would have advised him to make much, much smarter choices. Oh, look at you guys and your smooches.
Sorry.
No, it's so cute. It's so cute. It's our own real life Nickelandrians as we are seeing. So I'm loving it. I'm so loving it. But I don't feel like people in his lives will really holding him accountable and really advising him. I feel like they're pumping his head even more so. He probably is getting a little bit more advice on how he should move with the media and what he should say. But I feel like still in the back of his head and his mind, he still feels like he was wronged. By producers, by Nick, by everyone, which is why I think he is just mentioning Shelly, because he feels like probably Shelly is the only one who has his back. There's probably maybe Brian and the others were like, yeah, hey, no, I don't want to be in the middle of this. Keep my name out of it. So that to me is, I feel like, is what I am seeing. I feel like people in his life are not holding him accountable. I feel like for me, my uncle's wife loves me, so she'll tell me, hey, Lavina, you did this wrong. You need to do better. But I honestly don't think he has that in his life. He has probably the mama's boys who are always going to tell them, you did okay. It's fine, honey. You're going to be totally okay. And if that's the support that he wants, that's fine. But that, to me, the power of the consumers are going to be in the Gen Zs and in the millennials. That's where you're going to get your buying power. You see that for the lip kit for Olandria and even Sweet Greens. I saw 2 creators today posting what they got from Sweet Greens, but they were young. They looked like Gen Z ages. That's where your buying power is going to be. I'm not saying the moms aren't going to go support you, but if we're talking about real money, it's going to be in those people. That's who he has to really win back that trust and that love that he has lost, not in the moms. Sorry to the boy moms out there. I love you guys. I have like 4 cousins that are boys, so I understand.
We love you too. And the thing is, like, you can have male children, boy children, and not be a boy mom, right? Like, y'all hear me talk about how I am with my sons all the time. Y'all, I'm trying to keep up with the comments, but it sounds like Angela, you have some concerns about Nick because he's starting to believe his hype. I mean, I would hope so. The reality is, in order to be in certain rooms, you need to have a certain air and level of competence. So I worry when I see that, only because what are y'all gonna do when Olandria is feeling herself? And are y'all gonna feel like she needs to humble herself when she starts really popping her shit, right? Because the reality is, people, in order to be in certain rooms, you really gotta be that motherfucker. You feel me? You really gotta have big dick energy. You really gotta have all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be flipping on people because now they understand who the fuck they are. They better. You should. You got a big ego, right? And having a big ego doesn't mean you're an asshole, right? And so I think that, you have to, like, again, like Tapia, right? You got to back yourself. And so I don't want people to try to, I don't like that fake humility shit. I don't like you feeling like people need to be humble or gracious simply because it makes you feel good. If people are not out here being assholes, then, you know what I mean? Like, then I don't know what the problem is. Like, his head should be up. He should be knowing that he's that motherfucker right now. You feel me? As should she. you know. So I don't necessarily feel like that's a problem personally. As far as like, exactly, it's like, listen, if you listen, listen, sometimes you get in the room thinking you got a seat at the table, motherfucker, whole time you the cutlery. So you better be on your shit. You better be big fucking stepping. You understand? You exactly. You need to have a commanding presence. You need to know who the fuck you are. And you gotta act like that even when you're not sure. Even when you're not exactly sure. Matter of fact, I got a whole goddamn video coming out for y'all tomorrow because of something somebody put in my inbox. So y'all will see. Yeah, and so I will say this too. I don't know about, I think y'all were saying 404 was saying some stuff. No, I'm not trying to be shady at all, y'all. Like, for real, I'm saying this, like, just sincerely. I want y'all to stop even paying attention to her. Just stop even looking at her. You like, just do not give her any more attention. If you just don't feed the birds will go away. Ignore that woman, okay? No, they're talking about 404. Well, that's fair, right? Like, it's one thing to, like, you hear it, right? I would say this though, right? Now I don't know, okay? I don't know. But it's one thing for somebody to regurgitate something in the live. Hi, CJ. We're talking about 404 right at this exact moment, but the panel is getting ready to continue addressing whether or not Alan is going out bad. I will say this about the lives. Be careful. People come in here sometimes and they say things like they put it into the comments and then we go and look and it's not true. So I would just also, like, unless they're showing you like, oh, here's what it is, I would also take some of that shit with a grain of salt. Just, you know, people, it's like I tell y'all about Chat GPT or Google AI, not Chat GPT, because I ain't never used that, but Google AI, it's just farming everything off the internet. If you put some fake information out, 20,000 times on the internet, Google AI is going to regurgitate it back like it's real. So I'm just saying, I don't use it, so I can't speak to how Chat GPT works. But it's basically just going to farm whatever. So be careful about what y'all see in these lives too, unless people are showing you evidence of it. You know what I mean? Okay, Tata, will you please give us, it do be lying, spleen. Will you please give us your thoughts? Is Alan going out bad? And maybe add in, and I guess everybody kind of addressed it, like, where does he go from here? Like, what are the next steps?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I made a video about it this morning, and I was scared to post it, but then I did, and I feel bad for him. I feel I literally, my heart breaks for him, not just because of what's happening, because I feel like, oh, they shooting shit. Let me go.
Okay,
Sorry, y'all,
so
they
you're
shooting.
safe?
Are you okay?
Yes,
Are you
I'm
safe?
fine. We're in Miami. They shoot all the time.
Kamoshi, kudoila.
Do you know
Girl.
that boy that was like,
If you don't get your tail out of the gardens, please.
I'm almost home. But yeah, I feel bad for him because, like, I was thinking about, like, me taking care of my family financially. I know that sometimes I don't always get the right support because they count on me financially. So I'm gonna get whatever answer they need to get to make sure I keep feeding them. I think Ace's family do that to him, and I feel bad. I'm just speculating, but I think that could be the case. I think that's why they're not telling him that. And I think also the Black community, I feel like as a whole, are using Ace as a vehicle to say fuck the white man, which in this case is the Love Island producers and also Nick. And I feel like that I don't think it matters what happens to Ace as long as Ace keeps pushing that same narrative to get them to feel like we're rallying behind you because you're a Black man. It doesn't matter what Ace has done. It doesn't matter how much it's going to damage his brand. I don't think it matters. I think they're going to use that to kind of keep saying, the villains is the Love Island producers. Producers have been villains since the day reality TV show was invented. So it's not like it's a new thing. the Ace told us about, So I feel like I feel so bad for him because when I was watching the video when he was dating.
Oh, you went away, Tata. I can't hear you. Clock it, Kay. Great on Traders, great on House of Villains. I think, yeah. It needs to rebrand. You know what I mean? Well, Anika, maybe that's true too. But maybe it's about the reality show. Y'all, I gotta have Ilea come on so we can talk to an ex-reality TV producer and she can give us your thoughts. Okay, Tata, just re-request, friend, because you dropped, I think. Just re-request. But I think that would be, it might be nice to get her insight on like, okay, what might be a good sort of platform for someone like Alan where he could rehab his image in a way. I think that could be a really interesting conversation. Brianna, that's what I mean, right? It's like it's so pigeonholed, and that actually feels, because I know that he doesn't want that because he's been so explicit about wanting something more than that. That feels icky. Like, and I don't know. For me, it feels like he is what's that one streamer recently? I only know about this because a creator that I follow was talking about it, but where he was sitting in a glass building eating fried chicken while white people were outside watching. Like, that was what it felt like. And I didn't like that for him. Okay. So that's what I mean, Brianna. Like, all the critiques I have, whatever, that's still, I still feel all those ways. Yes, I show speed, exactly. I don't like that for him. So CJ, what we're talking about is Alan has done a couple of different, he did the VMAs, Ciroc, and a Burger King commercial. And all of them, he's really playing up this caricature of himself that just feels a little bit like a minstrel show and feels icky because he is a Black man being consumed by predominantly white audiences. And just whether like what that feels like for people as they're watching and engaging with it. Does it feel like he's actually going out bad, that it's like self-sabotage in a way, and like what maybe next steps look like? Okay, Tata, you're back. Do you want to finish your thoughts, friend, or do you want us to wait until you get home?
Yeah, I'm home.
Okay,
I'm safe. I'm in my neighborhood.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just been, my heart's been hurting for him all day because I do still feel the way I feel about Ace. I don't like him as a person. I wouldn't support him, but I think a part of me wanted for him to just come out, apologize, and just, you know what I mean, and then we can have room for him to like watch him grow and see a change. But I feel like as long as our community are like posting him, rooting him, acting like he did nothing wrong, which they're standing by just to say they don't support a white man over a Black man, Ace is not going to change, and it's going to hurt Ace. I don't think he's going to be hurt financially because, as I said, I don't have much faith in Gen Z. I feel like they're just gonna forget in 2 seconds. But I feel like Ace is going to have money, but it's going to be empty because the things that he wants in life and how he sees himself, he's never going to get there because these people are never going to forget. They're never going to forget what he went and did on that Speedy interview, whatever it was, the way he talked about it. They're never going to forget that. And I also feel like this is a humiliation thing for him, like the same way they did him and Shelly in the villa. I think they're doing that to him outside within the opportunities that he is getting. I think he thinks he's in control, but he's really not. I think they're just like winding him to see him spin, and I feel awful for him. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Tata, for your thoughts. Y'all also, thank you so much I love when you gift my panelists. Thank you so much for gifting. Okay, Erica, he just said so. Yeah, see, listen. Listen. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is why I say, like, I know I was giving y'all my little spiel earlier, right? Where I'm like, as a clinician, I like to observe the behavior, to talk about it. It's interesting, but ultimately I stay pretty disconnected from like the outcome. It's not going to like faze me one way or the other. I do wish that the behavior being identified would help to shift that. And if he's still not sorry, then like he's just got a long way to go, and it's going to be a long and I think arduous road in a way he wasn't expecting, right? Again, it would be different. It would be different if Alan was like, I was doing it before I got in the villa. I want to keep doing the same shit now that I'm out of the villa. But somebody that has 1 million followers, who has been doing lives, who has already been on TV before, going into the villa, you absolutely believe that was going to increase your platform, increase your visibility, and increase opportunity. Opportunity. Oh my God, I'm a Maya. He thought
Well,
that.
now that you mentioned her, Tina, I just wanted to point out very important timeline. The interview with Chief Shots was actually shot before the reunion. I don't know why there's such a long turnover time, but it said, please catch the reunion at the end. I was like, huh?
Okay, that's
But anyway,
odd.
she still said Tark.
That's odd. Well, as somebody else said, and I think that I agree with that, is that y'all are funny, it's contagious. That I think she might have been trying to be safe as well, right? If she knew, if she had any idea, because if Brian and Alan were actually close, and Brian might have had an inkling, and maybe so Amaya had an inkling as to where Alan stood, she might not have wanted it to come out that it seemed like she was picking one couple over the other, so she chose the completely separate couple. Either way, whatever, we don't care what Amaya got to say. But that said, he went onto that show absolutely thinking he was going to get more opportunities for what he wants, right? Thank you so much, y'all. Again, like, we're not putting things into his mouth. This is what he said. Publicists are begging to get him invited into events. He has told us what he wants. What he wants is to DJ, to act. He wants to diversify his bag like Keke Palmer, is what he said. He said that he wants to be a mogul. He does not want to fucking keep doing this in the background. He doesn't. If he actually was okay with that, I wouldn't give a fuck, because that's what he wanted. He just wanted more people to watch him do this on live. Okay, cool. But that's not what he said he wants. Child, he want to DJ, he want to host, he want to act, maybe rap, right? I'm just saying, JMT, I'm just saying, he said he wants to do all of these things. And so, clock it, Ginger. He said he wants to do all of these things. And so if he wants to do all of these things, but he's refusing to clean up the mess that he made, and no shade, okay, maybe a little shade. I was about to lie. I mean, Gigi, please share your thoughts. A little bit of shade. Alan don't need to hop on no beats. Alan is not a rapper, okay? It's fun because it's on TikTok. MTA, exactly. Exactly as I was saying it, okay? Not rap with that beat running away from him, okay? Like, no, it's cute because it's on TikTok and it's funny and it's fun, but I'm not playing that shit in my car. Don't play with me. Don't do that. It's giving early era Cardi B. I said it. All right, Gigi, please give us your thoughts.
So I have lots of thoughts because I always have thoughts. So I'm glad that we're talking about this because this is speaking to exactly what I have been saying from the beginning, that he has all of this social media clout, and in his mind, and this is why I don't think that, my feeling bad for him, and I should preface this by saying my thoughts of feeling bad for him simply are rooted in the fact that he's Black. And that is it. And that's the only reason why, because I feel very much like I do with my brothers. Like, I can poke fun at you all day long, but not everybody's invited to that barbecue. Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's how it feels. Like, we as a Black people, I feel bad for him because he is a member of my racial community. But nothing else beyond that, because I don't want anybody else making fun of you. However, did you go out and make an ass of yourself? Absolutely. And do I feel bad for you because of that? Absolutely not. Now, going back to the situation at hand, I don't think in his mind, we already know he's not sorry, right? So he's not sorry because he's insulated and bolstered at the same time by his followers and by his online presence. And in his mind, in his ego, insulated by his ego, he cannot conceptualize a world in which his social media reach does not translate to broader media. And this is why he has these ideas of grandeur, these notions of grandeur in which he thinks that he is bigger than every program, right? And that he should be why can't he be a DJ? Why can't he be a rapper? Why can't he go on and do all these things? Because he was on Jennifer Hudson. He walked the same hallways as Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa. So why can't he do all of these things, right? And so that's what's going to, if as long as he continues to stay grounded in this and he's surrounded in these people that keep him grounded in this notion of you don't have to listen to anybody else, or why would you need outside guidance because we are telling you that this is it. And the same comes from, like, I've seen time and time again, even when I've hosted lives with people that come in, Ace will be all right. It wasn't that bad. And clearly it's that bad. And I keep telling people that y'all are not true fans if you cannot look at your person and say, you need to do better. You need to pivot. If you need to pivot, this is how you need to go, to navigate your narrative. If you want to be able to translate to bigger media. I said the same thing and people were trying to jump down my throat when I was talking about Michelle. And I keep telling them, if you do not have the social capital outside of social media, because for whatever reason, it's not just Gen Z, but it's Gen Alpha as well. And these Gen Alpha kids who are getting older, who are translating into the 18 and having access to older money to be able to pour into these things. You do not have the social capital outside of social media to be able to navigate such risk and pose yourself as a media liability or as a brand liability to these bigger executives. And we as a people can support, and that's great. But at the end of the day, them big people with them deep old wallets in Hollywood and deep old wallets in media are the ones who are going to determine if your brand is worth the risk. And when you have a media outlet, let's be real, Essence is parented by a white company. Like, we all know this, right? Because they got bought out years ago. If they can turn out, and as influential as they are in the Black community, if they can put out a warning label essentially in your media rollout that signals, it's a bat signal to media and all other brands that you are a liability, you are a loose cannon, it is a problem. You do not have the weight, you do not have the gravitas in media. That's my new favorite word. You do not have the gravitas in the media to be able to go ahead and translate and be the liability that you are. That's why you got up there with your tail tucked between your legs on the MTV and was like, well, I'm learning to navigate Hollywood, because somebody sat you down and they said, get in this booster chair and sit down because we're about to have a meeting and you need to keep it cute. And Michelle is on her way to the same thing if she doesn't speak up and take control of the narrative, and she lets Ace backseat drive her narrative. And that's exactly what's been happening. And that's why she poses herself in this position of plausible deniability. And I've said it time and again, it's not new. I've said it time and again. She puts herself in a position of plausible deniability so she can be, I didn't know. And I was saying this in Kylie's live, that it's very typical of Haitian women, no matter how disconnected she is or how far removed she is and Americanized she is from Haitian community. It's very normal for Haitian women to in an effort to support their man and what they're saying without having to disagree, even if they don't disagree, to get enough information from him to be in the know, but enough distance himself from enough information at the same time to be able to say, oh, I didn't know. This is why she stays so confused. This is exactly why she stays so confused. It's a manipulation tactic. It's very intentional. Oh, okay. And the second I will tell you what I'm talking about.
I second that.
Said confusion is lying, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. My mother with me, so I know.
Because they will do it. They will do it, especially as Haitian women. They will do it to be like, oh, I didn't know. I thought something was there, but I didn't know. It's something they do, and they fall back on. And I saw that coming a mile away. Every time she said I was confused, I was like, "Bitch, you lying? Stop playing with me." Girl, I love you down, Shelly, because you a
Tina,
Haitian girl, but I know
think
you lying.
can
Stop
you
fucking playing with me.
can you discuss how Haitian women ignore their intuition? Because I think that's what Michelle is doing. Like she
I don't think
knows
she's
on a
ignoring
cellular
it though.
level.
I don't think she's ignoring it, and that's her problem. I think
Say more.
unfortunately she feels like Ace, and she feels as if his clout will they're like there's this like because of the advent of like the increase of use of social media influencers in big media. I think there's this misconception that if you make it as a social media influencer, that's automatically going to translate. And I think, unfortunately for her, she's bought into that propaganda. And I think that's why she puts herself in this position where she has just enough proximity to his clout to be able to insulate herself without like really aligning like definitively with it, right? So she has enough space to be able to detach through her plausible deniability.
Can I say
And so
something?
she's trying to get her anchor in just enough so she can get it and then maybe step away. And I think that's what's happening.
Can I say something?
Yes, please go ahead, Papa.
When her mom came on that parent thing, I don't care how much people trying to tell you, she trying to tell you that she's not connected to her Haitian heritage. Her mother might speak more English and Creole, but Shelly is 100% Haitian in the way that she behaves. The way her mom was gushing over Ace told me everything I needed to know. The way the father was he wasn't present. She was the one speaking the most. She was more vocal, but she was very much pick me. Shelly is 100% a Haitian woman, and what she's doing behind Ace is what we're all groomed to do. You stand behind the man is right, and when push comes to shove, let's say you are in a courthouse, then you say you had no idea, you didn't see, you didn't know, you saw nothing, you heard nothing. But at home, your man is right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to Lady Russell hat. I know that they have watched more than I think anybody else as far as watching the season back. I do want to address New LA 7's comment that was a while back that basically just said, I only care, right, about what's happening with Alan because the caricature and the role that he is being pushed into impacts all Black people. And to me, that's what I'm hearing Gigi say. That's what I'm hearing most of the panelists say, right? It's like, it's that, well, at least I'll speak for myself. And I think that's what I also heard Gigi saying, right? It's like, this impacts all Black people. This like us letting him be made fun of, teased, mocked in this way, impacts all of us. And so this goes back to that where your allegiance to your Blackness might show up, right? Even if it's like, I ain't fucking with him, I know that he did this shit to himself. It's like, and that actually impacts all of us. And that's you like what they say, we move as a unit. You making us all look bad at this point, you know? But okay, thank y'all for chatting about that. I want to talk to y'all now. Let me give y'all this disclaimer. Okay, chat, I'm talking to y'all because there's 271 of y'all in here, so I don't know what y'all about to be on. Okay, but we're about to talk about Taylor's that video I made for y'all around that fluid masculinity and how that has that predisposition toward non-Black women because of that potential fluidity and masculinity. Thank you, Pia. Woo, that video was giving me the blues. It took me so many times to get it uploaded for y'all. But how that fluidity in masculinity, potentially fluidity in sexuality, how that will make you predisposed to wanting to date non-Black women. It's my one Lambdy with 3D Tay on the horse. That's the screen grab. I'm glad that y'all thought it was so good. Thank you. I was trying to be very intentional with that video. I want us to be able to get into it. I need y'all to be able to keep it cute in the comments. But I definitely want us to get into that because thank you so much, Lambdy. Thank you, Pia. So I was watching this creator and essentially they were arguing that they think Taylor is a gay man and that is why he is attracted. It was never going to be Alandria because he's attracted to non-Black women. Now, I've always said that I thought that Taylor was attracted to white women. And at the very least that the closest he could get, right? The closest that he could get. And I will say that for me, it clicked in my head around like how we do femininity and masculinity in the US. And I don't want to give too much away because it is a subscriber video, but I will say that like I want us to kind of chat about that in the larger, like I know it was like a pretty heavy video, and so I wanted to make some space for us to chat about it. Still Museum, tell me what you mean that feels like bi erasure. Are you perceiving that creator saying that he's gay as bi erasure? Is that what you mean? Or you think that I don't even necessarily think he's bi. I think he's curious about his masculinity and potentially more fluid with his sexuality than he's allowed to be. Yeah. Okay, it gives you IEP, not fluidity. Maybe. I think that the way that we watch him play in the margins of femininity and masculinity, I think he would like to be a little bit more playful, and it makes sense to me that you would choose someone that you think is closest to the pinnacle of femininity as possible, where then that would make it less curious about your sexuality or about your masculinity. And one of y'all sent me a video to my inbox today of Jeremiah and Nick on live together, and then you sent me screenshots of Pepe in Nick's comments, and it really sort of just reinforced this idea, right, that if you are a non-black man, because you're closer to the, especially if you're white, right, in the US, right, we're not saying that this is real, we're saying this is the way it's socially constructed, y'all, okay, socially constructed, not necessarily the truth, but what is socially agreed upon. That white men are the pinnacle of masculinity and white women are the pinnacle of femininity. Everybody is situated outside of that is not a white person. But the closer you are to whiteness, the closer your proximity to whiteness, the more access you have to those roles. And so we watch Pepe in Nick's comments, right? Now, I think he was talking to Alandria. But we watch him, Alandria, she said something about, what did she say, dark skin lover girl? She said something about like want him, whatever it was. And then Pepe said something like, he said like, me too. And nobody is under them comments whether or not Pepe is gay man. She said speeches and he said me too. Nobody's in them comments like, oh my God, does Pepe like boys? Why? Why aren't they asking that question, y'all? Because people think he's talking about Nick. I seen the videos. I don't think he was talking about Nick. I think he was talking about Alandria. But they think he's talking about Nick exactly, babe, because he is white. So they automatically perceive him as more masculine. And so that feels like it raises less questions for them. He might be talking about Nick. I still think he's talking about Alandria. But nobody's questioning that, right, Pia? Whereas if Taylor did that, people would be like, see, I knew he was gay. I knew he liked the boys. And that's because there is a certain way that people expect black men to show up in masculinity in order to be valid within their masculinity. This goes to the Mandingo trope, to the Sambo, to the black macho, right? Alexa, that's what you think. I still think what I think. Y'all can think what y'all think. I still think what I think.
Question, Tina. Did you write a dissertation on this one too? Oh, sorry, you're not a PhD. You should be, but did you write a article on this too?
I do not have, because I didn't really, no shade, but my focus was always the girlies. So my research is predominantly around.
Oh, totally understand. But when I did have my elective, I picked African studies. Almost picked women's studies, but I'm glad I picked African studies. I'm an avid researcher myself. You have anything for us to read? Can I read your womanhood paper?
Okay, yes. So I will tell you, I'm gonna make a Substack, and I actually have a reading rec video coming out tomorrow for y'all. So again, but that's the argument, right? Like, this is where I want y'all to critically think in my comments, right? Volant, the reason why I think he might have been talking about Alandria is because it's not the first time that he has said some things that have been interesting. And so, okay, his love Alandria, but Nick has my heart. Exactly. But none of that is going to, nobody's going to question his sexuality. And again, I hear y'all, oh, but Taylor has his back arched. And so, and Pepe's also saying shit. So, but you're not going to question it, because automatically, whether you know it or not, You live in a culture that predisposes you to perceive certain people as more masculine versus more feminine. That's just the way that we have socially agreed in the United States that it's going to work. And unless you actively work against that, that's what's happening for you. And so yeah, exactly. Like that's why when Nick was on the live with what's that boy's name, Jeremiah, he said, "Oh yeah, I want to get something blasted on my back." He didn't think it was nothing wrong with that, but Jeremiah did. Jeremiah was like, pause, like, oh my God, we're not gay, because he knows that he couldn't say that as a black man, that it would raise questions. And so he needs to reassert that masculinity over and over and over again. Nina, I think it depends on probably how they present. If you engage with a black man that had, and I don't know you personally, but I'm just going to speak to, if you were engaging with a black man that was a little bit softer, and I know black men that are this way, a little bit softer, a little bit more flamboyant, they paint their nails, whatever, but they love women down. People question that masculinity a lot faster than they question a white man doing the same thing. Because the reality is that in the United States, they have structured masculinity and femininity to require certain performances. The reality is we're all performing our gender all the time. All the time. This is some of the stuff we'll get into in like book club, but we are performing our gender all the time. And because black women are read as stronger, more aggressive, more whatever, if they are with a black partner, they definitely typically need to show up in a certain type of way in order for the world to read them as masculine. This does not mean that they cannot subvert it and show up how they want to. Does not mean that. Okay? Doesn't mean that. Clock it. Doesn't mean that. It just means how the world is going to look at them. Exactly. No Diddy, no pause. What community is saying that? Ours. Yes, hypermasculinity. And not necessarily that we decided on that as a black community. It has been ascribed onto us. I'm not saying that he's not sexually fluid, Anika. I'm saying that his potential at being sexually fluid or wanting to be more fluid in his gender expression and the way that he shows up in his masculinity or femininity is why he would be more predisposed to wanting to date a woman that would call that into question less often. Because if he's acting like that with a black woman, people are more likely. That's why everybody liked Jalen for Alandria. Even though she's like, I don't like that man like that. People wanted Jalen for her because that was the type of man she needed. Right? A lot of us would not be asking these same questions if Taylor was with the white girl. We'd be like, oh, like he just with the white girl. Like that's just how he's acting because he with the white girl. But Laura, I don't believe Jeremiah when he says that. So yeah, exactly. Rebel with the cause. Look at the way we talk about white frat boy culture. White frat boy culture. But when things come out about black culture and frats, if it's even remotely similar, it's like, oh my God, they're all gay. They're all homosexual. Like, I just want us to like really wake up that conversation and see if we can have it. I know this is very complex. It's very deep, but I want us to see if we can like hold the tension around this conversation together in the live. Hold on, because panel Athena wants to come up as well. And then I see Clock It.
Hey, I'm gonna drop down for just a sec. I'll be in the comments though.
Okay, Gigi, got you. Thank you. Exactly, Pia, that part, secure man. And this is why I'm saying, like, men can subvert this. Black men can subvert this. But you have to be very confident in who you are. Oh, yeah, Violet, I see you. Gigi just dropped, so now it's room.
You gotta not give a fuck.
And you have to not give a fuck, right? But this is like, again, this is like something we will talk more about in book club because I know that this is like a very deep, deep topic about the way that manhood and womanhood are situated for, but why? So that's the thing, dark skin lover girl. Tell me why you didn't think he gay feminine. What did you read about him? Right? This is where I'm asking y'all to dig deep. You're okay.
Pick me.
Tell me, hold on, Ann. Tell me what you're reading about Jalen that makes you feel like he's masculine and not femme. Okay.
It was the muscles for me. Is that superficial?
Nope. Nope. But that his presentation, exactly. Come on. Right? Come on. How was he showing? How was it's the muscles, it's the way he presented, right? There's a specific. Oh, you said he did get feminine to you, dark skin lover girl. But it's right, like it's those things, it's that burliness, it's that being more strong, right? Like we read that, some people, right? Read that as more masculine. And so that made sense for them with the Landry because she's such a strong Black woman. She needed a man like that, not like Taylor.
I just want to put a disclaimer that Tina's for critical thinkers only because, wow, Jalen was not sassy. Take it back. I think he's really kind of adorable. Is it because he's short? Don't lie. Is it because he's short, y'all? I know Jalen's short, but he's still cute.
To be honest, I'm just gonna say Jalen came across very gentle and kind to me. So combined with his masculine physique to be like, granted, I know Olandria didn't like him, but he really was the best of both worlds because he presented as masculine to me, but he was also very kind and gentle. He just had a bad time reading the room because asking for a kiss after that day was just not the move. I was like, but I mean, at the end of the day, she ended up with the person that I wanted her to end up with. So it is what it is. So I'm not upset at that. But I think Jalen seems to be just a gentle and kind, a very kind person. So, and he did not present feminine. So maybe the people that are seeing feminine is because of his gentleness and his kindness. Maybe that's why they're getting the femininity in Jalen.
And it doesn't read as feminine.
Clock it.
Why?
Yes. So to me, it doesn't read as feminine because of his physicality, but to other people, maybe if they're looking past the physicality, his kindness and his gentleness does come across as feminine, which I don't know what it says about how you view men and what you think men are capable of, but maybe that's something that needs to be unpacked as well.
Right. Okay. So Chris is saying this is why when there are, because listen, if I don't know what y'all do in your regular life. Okay. I don't know. Right. But if you go to, and somebody said it, have you never heard of a bear? Right. If you go to queer clubs, you are definitely going to see, yes, Camilla, you are definitely going to see men in there that you're like, I would never think he was gay.
Yeah.
Because he presents in a way that you read as more masculine. This is not a negative that we're reading it that way, y'all. This is the way that our brains want to do that. It wants the path of least resistance. It needs to make an assessment as quickly as possible. You understand? It's why people call It's why people call Russell Wilson a simp. He must be sassy. He's this, he's that. Because they see the gentleness and the softness that, nigga, that's gay. Whole time.
I know you didn't bring CC up. Tina, I am unnerved. I heard this really misogynistic man talking about, what's his name? He's a simp. Sierra ran through. She had one baby with Future and then she pivoted. Now she ran through. You need to have that energy for Future and his multiple homes. Go ahead.
So let me just clarify real quick before we get into this, because panel, I want you to touch it, right? Let me clarify very quickly for the chat. Y'all, we are not arguing that Jalen is a good fit for Olandria. We're not arguing that Taylor is bisexual or gender fluid or sexually fluid. We're not arguing any of those things. What we are saying is people read them differently, even if some of their behaviors are the same, because they present differently. Same with Nick or Pepe versus a 3D, right? People read them differently because they present differently, even if they do some of the same things. It is why Jeremiah clocked Nick's statement as problematic and potentially gay, but Nick saw nothing wrong with it because they read it differently culturally, right? There is a hyper masculinization that happens within Black community for Black men that then requires a certain type of performance. And if they're not willing to perform, will influence the partners that they pick. And this is why with 3D, it was never going to be Olandria. Yes, for Black women too, Violet, but we're going to stay focused on Tay Tay tonight. This is why with 3D, it could never have been Olandria because the way that he wants to present, the way that he wants to play in it a little bit, right? And this is not saying he wants to get down. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the way that he likes to inhabit his masculinity is not in the way that the world says Black men have to inhabit in order to be with a strong, independent, dark-skinned Black woman. He doesn't want to inhabit his masculinity in that way. It's why he wants a fucking kid feeling. I need you to clock it. Because she doesn't have that understanding, dark-skinned lover girl, right? So this is why Taylor was always going to end up with someone other than Alandria, the lightest skinned Black woman he could find, or a non-Black girl. He stood up for Sierra. He stood up for, or he wanted to explore Baldasha and Andreina, right? While we read Andreina as Black, we can all agree that the way her Blackness and her womanhood is understood is different than Black women in the United States, okay? So this is what we're having the conversation around, is that the way that Taylor wants to inhabit and wanted to chat with Huda, the way that he wants to inhabit his masculinity, whether that means anything about his sexuality or not, it was always going to necessitate that he be with a partner that was not Olandria. Okay.
Tina, I just want to make a comment.
Yes.
I saw somebody said that Olandria wanted Taylor to present as very masculine. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because I don't think Nick presents himself as very masculine. But what Nick does is make Olandria feel very secure. And that is
I
what
was
Taylor
just
did.
gonna say
That is what
that
Taylor
Nick
did not
acts
give.
just as playful as Taylor.
Yeah, that is what, but the difference is that Nick makes Olandria feel very secure. That's what Taylor did not give her. So it's not the masculinity, it's her feeling secure that the person that she's with is someone who wants her, who has her back, who is doing the things that she needs them to do. So Nick is very playful. That's like, we see Nick do his little model poses where he does like the leg pop stuff, like that's very cute. That's very cutesy, very, 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 lover boy princess. Like that's him all day. And nobody thinks he's gay because I understand, like, we're talking about like the racial aspect of it, but part of it is that he seems very secure in himself. The other part with Taylor is that you could tell Taylor, to me, presents as a kid who just wants to be part of the cool kids. That's also another problem that he has, because I feel if Alan was doing the things that Taylor was doing, I don't think anybody, like, if he went under Nick's comment and said "me too" or whatever, like what Pepe said, I don't think anybody would think, oh, Alan's gay, because he doesn't present as that desperate need to like fit in, like that Taylor has. So I think that's also the other thing with Taylor. Taylor also has the issue where he negs the women. He's talking about, if she said something to me, I would cuss her out. He just is he's giving things that we would be like, that's very bitch made. Like he crafted a narrative for himself.
That's in the apocalypse is still happening.
Let me say this though. Okay, I hear you, Pia, about instead not performative masculinity, true masculinity. Let me say this though, because they're saying in the comments, and I agree, that the way that Nick, when he's at the party with Ace and his arms around his shoulder, if he was a Black man doing that, I think y'all would be responding differently.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
I think he has access to play a little bit more.
Yes.
Because he's a white man.
Yes.
And I'm gonna say this too, that people don't perceive Alandria as overly strong or stoic with him, because yes, he makes her feel safe enough to be soft, but also because he is a white man, and it makes more space for her to be read as feminine and as a woman. Even though she is a woman, we're talking about how larger society sees them, y'all, not how we personally see them.
But I also
when she was with Taylor, she looks stronger. When she's with Nick, she just seems like he's taking her along and she's here for it. She's just being, like, I see that. I don't know. I just see it. But she's doing the same thing she would have been doing, outside the villa.
Okay. Let me go from. Oh, I was gonna, Violet. Yes, please, because you're new onto the panel. Please give us your thought, and then Athena, I want you to give us some full thoughts next.
Okay.
Thank you. As always, thank you for the space. I love it here. So I did want to come into this conversation and really frame Blackness in the center of this conversation. I don't know if anyone here has read, I think it's Hortense Spillers who coined the term ungendered for Black people specifically, and how white supremacy has Black people as a foil. So whatever white supremacy designs, Black people will always be on the outside of that, right? And so when we talk about like gender performance, Black people are always going to be on the opposite. So like for Black women, we're always seen as hyper masculine. For Black men, they have to oftentimes fight to prove their masculinity because they're always pushed into these weird forms of like femininity, right? And all of this is a construct, right? Gender is bullshit. But at the end of the day, in order to conform to society, Black people have to overemphasize their performance of any gender that they identify with, right? And so when you see a guy like Taylor, in a perfect world, Taylor could just be Taylor, archback and all, and not have to worry about whether he's feminine, masculine, whatever. But because Taylor as a Black man is already confronted with this idea that he is more likely to just be a deviant with his gender, he is now forced to overperform in a way that's not natural to him. And so then he's in this space of discomfort. That's why, low-key, I think Alandria likes a man that's a little soft, because for her to like Taylor and Nick, and both of those are the men in the villa who I think perform their gender in the most divergent way, and for her to like them both, I think that's low-key Alandria's type, and low-key is kind of my type. I like a little soft man. So like, I can understand why for Taylor, it is frustrating to see a man like Nick be able to do what he cannot do and never have to deal with having to like hold the boundary of his gender, hold the boundary of his identity. Like, as Black people, we're constantly pushing against that. That's why oftentimes when you hear discourse around Black women talking to our like Black cis women talking to our Black trans sisters, that conversation gets really tense because as Black women, we have like more of a pushback for all of us on being forced into a masculinity that we do not identify with, right? And so I just want to raise that into this conversation because I think when we're talking about Nick, he is a white man. He is never going to have to confront gender in the ways that we do. Like, Nick can walk around in a dress every day, and until he says I'm gay, people are going to be like, I mean, he just likes dresses. Like, they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And like, when you think about like Alan, if you remember all those pictures that people take at the end when they're leaving, the men take the pictures and like Nick would do something cheeky, like try to kiss or stick his tongue out. And Alan's always making that crazy face like he's repulsed by it, is because he's overperforming his gender in that moment to try to distance himself from any way of being considered cool with this femininity, cool with this queerness, right? And so, yeah, I hope we get a chance to read. I think it's Spillers. Tell me if I'm wrong, Tina. I know you
You are right, and it is on the list.
Hey!
It is in the, so I told y'all I have my recommendation list coming out tomorrow, but Violet is referencing Mama's Baby, Papa's Maybe, an American grammar book by Hortense J. Spillers. But it is in the video tomorrow that is coming out, y'all. So that's so interesting that you reference it because it is one that I will put out for you all that you'll see tomorrow. Yes, Pia, period. It's one that I say don't read it by yourself if you can. It's fucking heavy. It's like, damn, your brain gonna be hurting. So it really is a good one to read in like community with other people, but it's a really good read.
I'm excited. I'm glad we're going to revisit it because it's been a while since I read it. But yeah, those are my main thoughts on this topic. I have other thoughts, but I don't want to diverge from this because I love looking at gender through a Black lens, so I can step back.
Me too. Okay, and then I wanted to just highlight one of the comments in here that said the way that we even understand like Harry Styles versus Jaden Smith, right? Perfect examples, and Jaden Smith is even a light-skinned Black man, right? Perfect examples of the way that we read gender and playfulness in masculinity and femininity based on race. And so Taylor, I don't necessarily think Taylor wants to put on a fucking dress. I don't necessarily think that, y'all. I don't think he necessarily wants to date a man. I don't think that explicitly. What I'm saying is I think he wants to be able to be a little softer and a little bit more playful in the way that he expresses his masculinity that is not as easily accessible and doesn't have as much space with, well, she's blessed if he wanted to. Hey, I want you to do what you want to do. That ain't no harm to me. But I will say, he wants to have the space that dating a dark-skinned Black woman would not give to him. Even the ex-girlfriend that came out while he was on the show, I'm extremely light-skinned. Y'all see me. I'm super light-skinned. She's lighter than me. So as close as he can get, because that allows him more room to show up in a different type of way without having to perform the masculinity that is often requested from Black men in order to validate their masculinity. And again, this doesn't mean that they can't subvert it, y'all, because they can. You just have to be very secure as a man. Like, how you perform your gender ain't necessarily, it don't really mean too much of nothing if you feel secure in who you are, right? I don't perceive Taylor as being a person that feels very secure in his identity, though.
Like a Dennis Rodman, right? Like nobody will run up on Dennis Rodman and say, I want to fight you, even though he's doing all his crazy stuff, right? So like you have to be extremely confident to be able to do that as a Black person.
I agree. Okay, thank you so much. Athena, please add your thoughts. Not Dennis was fine.
I think the problem though with Taylor is, like you said, like he's not very secure, unfortunately. But it is also the society that we grew up in. And I have to say that Black women play a role in this as well. I see it online all the time where Black women are like, oh, if I'm doing makeup, my little boy can't be in the room. Cause I'm like, cause you're doing makeup, your little boy can't be in the room while you're doing makeup because you think it's gonna make him get, like, just really dumb stuff. But these are Black women that are saying this. So these boys are hearing these things from the time that they're babies from women that are telling them this. So it's like we have a responsibility and a role to play in this as well. Like, not that I agree with this. I don't agree with this, and I think it's an excuse. But I think there is room for education on all sides. When a lot of Black men who are DL, they say it's because they don't feel that they can come out to women or even say that they're bisexual to women because they feel that Black women are going to reject them or whatever, as opposed to like maybe if they're with a Caucasian woman who might be, a little bit more fluid in that sense. I don't agree with, lying to your significant other and doing things like that. But I think there is room for conversation in terms of what we as Black women internalize as masculine and how we put that on male children so that by the time they grow up that they feel that they don't have room to be who they are or to let us know who they are. I think nowadays people are a little bit more, I feel like, accepting and open with certain things. So maybe that might be less of a problem, because I definitely see a lot of younger queer Black people that are very comfortable living in their truth. So hopefully that's something that that's not as prevalent as it used to be. But I'm sure it's always going to be there because we have society telling us what Black masculinity versus femininity is. We still have the Black church, which is a huge, even though people don't go to church no more, that's why we don't have real singers. But still, it's a big, still a big thing. Yeah. So we have, and then on top of that, all the other performances that we see in terms of Black masculinity, in terms of like music, like hip hop artists, or even somebody like saying, who's that Channing Crowder guy saying that Russell Wilson is a simp. What makes Russell Wilson a simp? Because he loves his wife? Because he's a good father? Because like things like that, just the basic, and to a lot of people, being a good husband and a father is the barometer of masculinity. But we have Black men calling another Black man a simp and a wuss because he's a good father and a good husband. Like, we have a very messed up connotation and view of what actually is masculinity. It's not being the strongest, the tallest, the fastest. To a lot of people, being masculine, being a man, is being able to be a provider, being able to be a faithful husband, being able to be a present father. And unfortunately, for some people, that's not enough. I'm sure if he was knocking Sierra upside the head, nobody would be calling him a simp. If he was knocking her head between the bedpost and the wall, nobody would be calling him a simp. But because he loves his wife, because he had the audacity to not think that Sierra was spoiled goods because she happened to have a child before they met. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, they want you to be a misogynist so bad. They want you to be a misogynist so bad. They want you to mistreat women, especially if it's Black women, because that's the only way you'll be able to prove that you're a man. It's really unnerving, and we have a lot of unlearning to do as a collective, as a people, as a society, because that is one thing I will say. White people know how to have fun. I'm sorry. White people know how to have fun without having to like freak out about every little thing. It's crazy. It's like, if we had more fun, like, I know life is hard, but God, let's just have some fun, y'all, without having to to worry about who's gonna see this, who's gonna think this. Yeah, let loose. Feel it in your body, y'all. Go kiss a girl. Go kiss a guy. Who cares? I don't know. It's we have so much. We have so many things that are stacked against us in society that I hate when it's other Black people that are roadblocks for us. That it just really makes me sad when we have to deal with that. To know that you have to live in a society where it's one thing to deal with like white people and other people, but to have to deal with Black people who hate you for being who you are, or that you feel that you can't be who you are, like it's sad, and we're never gonna get to where we need to be as a collective if we don't start loving and accepting people for who they are. And to me, loving and accepting people for who you are, as long as you're not hurting somebody else, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. So somebody said, and I want to tell you what happened. Somebody said Black men in the 70s were much more like fluid in the way that they showed up, and what changed? And the answer is the Moynihan report. The Moynihan report that came out in the late 60s. It takes some time for it to impact the zeitgeist. But they said, hey, actually, Black women. And so then it became this other performance because, again, remember, like, now we about to nerd for a second for real, right? But like, it wasn't that we were all like Black men were not always able to play like that, right? Like they did in the 70s. Remember back to how we were when we first got onto this landmass, right? And then we had a whole period, not that it's gone away completely, but there was a whole period of respectability, right? And so we have to show up a certain type of way. We have to fold into whiteness as much as we possibly can, right? And then we get the playfulness of the 70s because 60s is the whole free love, whatever. But then Moynihan drops a bomb thinking he understands fucking Black families. And he decided to make these controlling images for Black women. And anytime we need to understand the way that gender is understood for all demographics, right? Is that femininity out all lies, not accurate. But femininity and masculinity are always in relationship to each other. They're always playing on the other one. So now when you've made all these narratives about Black women, now there has to be a counter to Black men. And so because he painted these matriarchs as these very strong, just overbearing, running the men out the house, now we're back into the Black macho. Now we're, it continues. Listen, as a psychology major, it was one of my biggest gripes is that when you look at the psychology and you're trying to understand the way that we conceptualize and understand Black women, something that you will see come up over and over again is the strong Black woman schema, but in a negative context. They speak about it negatively as if the world that they didn't fucking create didn't necessitate, like it is necessitated by the circumstances that y'all have created. And so they leverage it as a weapon against us. Oh, the reason why you all have higher rates of, obesity, or the reason why you have higher rates of heart disease, because that's the number one taker for Black women. Get out and take a walk, ladies. Join Girl Trek, whatever, all the things, right? It's because y'all are too strong. You're not willing to ask for help. And so they pathologize us as though they didn't fucking create the systems that necessitated it, which is why the entire focus of my thesis was actually looking at the research to see, is this true? Is this actually a negative? And actually what the research showed is that Black women having that strength is what contributed to healthy, enduring, loving relationships. I'm off my soapbox. Okay. Tata, will you please give us your thoughts?
My thoughts doesn't stem from how do I say this? I struggle with this a lot because I, as like a bisexual person, I'm also religious, and I have such a hard time when it comes to like queerness. It's something that I almost never talk about because I don't know. Like I struggle a lot with it. I don't have anything to say because I feel like I don't have a handle on it. I'm having such a hard time with letting go of, what the Bible says, and it's hard for me. I struggle with it a lot.
And you absolutely don't have to share. Y'all know that it's never any pressure. at all. We make space for all the things.
I think I want to be able to get to that place where I can have like a stance on this, because I can accept myself as a queer person. I can accept other queer people as normal, but at the same time, it's hard for me to let go of, like, it's almost like those are thoughts I accept quietly. I can't say them out loud, because then it's like, does that mean I'm going against the Bible? You know? And then you learn so much to not go against the Bible that it's like you almost feel like God is watching you. God is hearing my thoughts.
I hear you. I hear you.
So yeah, I hope one day I can get to that place where I can freely and openly speak on it. I feel like when I was in my rebellious stage, I was like, I wasn't just like bisexual. I was a lesbian. So I went through that phase where I was just like, I don't care. But then it's like some way, somehow I kind of was reeled back into like this like space of like being afraid to be queer. So now it's like, I'm like, I don't know. One day I'll get there.
And listen, I will say, like, y'all know, obviously I'm biased. Duh. But there are entire therapists, like, this is part of the work that I do. Y'all know that I work predominantly with like queer and trans community. And a lot of it is about them sort of reconciling and coming into a space of like being okay with these new identities as they are evolving for themselves, helping to integrate that into the family unit. So there are spaces and places out there where you can be held compassionately and with a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, what's the word? I can't find it.
Affirmed.
Expertise. That's the word. You can be held with a lot of like compassion and expertise in helping you to navigate that space. So obviously, I hope that for you. Violet, you want to say something before I go to Anne?
Thank you. Tata, if you ever want to talk about queer theology or any of those things, please reach out to me. Like, there's a whole area of that reconciles like our faith and our queerness and our Blackness. And one of my homegirls, like, that's actually kind of her side expertise. And so if you want readings, if you want anything to like help you reconcile that, because I know that journey is challenging. I've experienced it too. I would love to share things with you so you don't feel alone on that.
Look at my live panel.
Y'all, you guys are being so sweet. I feel shame for feeling the way I feel and the confusion that I feel, so I tend to stay quiet about it. But yeah, because I know in my heart, I know that like me being attracted to both men and women, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not the devil. But at the same time, it's like I'm in this like fear of just like wanting to go against God. And by the way, I'm Jewish, so it's not even just like being Christian. It's like it's much deeper than that. Like, you know, it's much worse, I feel like, in a way, than if I was to be Christian, because there's a lot of fluidity in Christianity that we don't have in Judaism. So it's a lot like with Judaism, it's like not a dot in the Bible is incorrect. You know, so it's hard to kind of maneuver that, because I am still religious, but at the same time, and I'm in the synagogue, and the rabbi is talking one way. I like, whenever I go to like the synagogue where it's Orthodox, even men and women are separated, because we can't pray by one another. And it's like, so living in that world, but at the same time being part of like a secular world it's almost traumatizing. Because I feel like with Christianity, there's so much room to decide, and if you don't like it, you just create another denomination. With Judaism, it's like what the Bible says is what the Bible says, and that's it. Even with Christianity, like, you guys have a second version of the Bible. With Judaism, there isn't one. It's the Old Testament, and that's it.
Okay,
So it's
MK
scary out there.
Dog has multiple queer leaders. MK, not that I'm gonna try to force y'all, but I would love if you and Tata connected and there was some collaboration. I love how my lives y'all show up for each other. I will say that the first thing that we're reading for book club, if you're in book club, I think it's 14 of y'all in Think Take, is The Uses of Anger by Audre Lorde, and it does talk about explicitly how shame shows up, and how to use that as a tool. So I think it'll be a good time. Okay, Anne, please share your thoughts. And I know.
I want to.
Okay. Oh,
Yes, go
hold
ahead.
on. And let me answer this question. How do you join book club? So y'all, if you are a subscriber, you are either a yapper or you're in the think tank. If you're in the think tank, you're in the book club. And when you go to my profile, the subscription page, it will have Discord. You click it, you join the role, put Discord on your phone, and then you have what you need to be in book club. If you are a yapper, you'll have to upgrade to book club. So that is how. So if you're not sure, I feel like you can click on my face, and if you click on the subscription, it'll show you which subscription you have, right?
Yep.
Chris said yeah. Chris said yes. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Okay, Anne, please share your thoughts, friend.
Hey Tata, actually, I think I have somebody for you. I follow this queer theologian. Her name is CJ. I don't know if you've heard of her. She has such awesome breakdowns of like the Bible. I think she's a Christian, but either way, anyway, I'm gonna send her to you. Maybe she might help you because she goes to a very accepting queer church, and she says that she can have both, her religious beliefs and have a relationship with God. I have a friend who's actually also bisexual. She chose to marry a woman, and I spoke to her around that. I said, give me what the Bible says. How do you feel about your sexuality? And she told me that that she knows it's a daily repentance for her. Like she's asking God for forgiveness for being who God created her to be, essentially. And that kind of made me sad. Okay. Tina went to the bathroom. Because I'm someone who used to be religious. I've deconstructed and I'm now spiritual, but I think Tata, for your healing, that's actually really sad to hear that maybe you should deconstruct like certain thoughts around, you accepting yourself fully and still being able to have a relationship with, the God of your understanding. So I think both can exist. Next, I want to talk about Tark and his not Tark, sorry, Taylor and his masculinity. I think that he's allowed to be playful, but at the same time, I don't think that Olandria was the person for him. I say that because, again, she's the very strong Black woman type. And I hate to say that. I'm tired of Black women being strong, but like, I don't think Taylor, in essence, would be able to handle her. And you see how Nick kind of makes her rise to the occasion. I don't think Taylor would be able to be the man that she needed, quote unquote. And so, with that being said, I think she ended up with the right man. And I think because Clark is more quiet and in the background, and she's demure and she's mindful, she can handle Taylor, and Taylor can essentially, I think on my thing, I think that Taylor kind of, on some level, kind of overpowers Clark. I see Clark dimming around him a lot. I don't, like, whenever Clark is around, I don't hear her speak. It's like, sis, you're cute, but you don't speak. Like, what's going on? Like, why are you not talking? Like, I want to know your thoughts. I don't want you to, Taylor doesn't, on some level, have to speak for you. You're allowed to have a mind of your own and thoughts of your own. How else can I put it? It's just like, I just want her to be able to speak up for herself more. Because a lot of people said she was boring in the villa, but that's because we never heard from her. She didn't really speak, and the airtime that they did get, it was very centered around Taylor. And I don't care about Mr. Archback. It tickles me every time. See, that's part of the masculinity. Why do we make fun of this man because he arches his back? Is he doing the bending? Okay, I'm done. Listen. I didn't say it. Blue said it. He's a soft stud. She said what she said, and I agree. Oh, Blue is so funny. I need to stop. Actually, we did do a live today, but it was about Mariah Scientist being a modern day pick me and the Young Thug thing. Tina, we need to yap about that. Maybe the next live, because I don't know if y'all heard the proof. somebody's coming for Young Thug. And in the words of Jesse, he looks like a confused moth. I don't get Tina picture babe, no I'm kidding. I don't understand how a man could be coming at Glow, a beautiful light skinned woman who he actually wants, talking about her beauty when you look the way you do, sir. You're mid, if even that. As a dark skinned man, yucky. Vomit face emojis. Like it's not you're not it, sir. And he came on a podcast talking about, I was just yapping. I don't know if I was gonna come home. Like acting like he was a traumatized man. I was just talking. I was talking. I don't know. Thank you, Athena. I know I'm being generous. That man, like, ill. Blue said on the live today, and I quote, he looks like genetic leftover. Okay, I'm done. like
Okay.
the ancestors were like,
whatever's left.
Hey, it wasn't me, it was Blue. Yeah. Good luck to that man. I hope that woman leaves him. Yeah, she's still a pick me, but what are we gonna do? Also good luck to Clark. As that lady said, stand up, stand up.
Lock them knees, girl. Okay, T, I agree. T said maybe Clark is just a quiet and docile personality. I agree. And I feel like that's why it was always going to be someone like Clark or Clark, based on what I've seen from Taylor. That is what he needs. That is what he prefers. That is what he has to have in order for him to feel secure in who he is. Okay. Sparkle, I want to let Lamika go because she just joined our panel. So, Lamika, will you please give us your thoughts? And then Sparkle, I'm going to come back to you, friend.
So what I was gonna say is,
Lamikia.
Ian,
Okay, I just want to. I'm correcting myself because I said Lamika and that's not what it is, right? It's Lamikia.
right, it's Lamikia.
Thank you. Okay.
So what I was gonna say about the masculinity thing is I view masculinity different because I helped manage a semi-pro football team for a while, and like a lot of them were masculine men, drug dealers, play football. Like you would not think a lot of them would be bisexual, but I know a couple of them were. And the way they played amongst each other was more acceptable because they were teammates. So the feminine way that Nick playing, they will play like that too. So I also think if you're a hyper masculine man, some of the stuff you can get away with because people are not going to perceive you as feminine. And also with Taylor, I don't really think he wants to be feminine. I just think he's not comfortable in him and who he is as a person. So he plays feminine, he plays goofy, he he tries to be of service to other people to make himself seem more valuable to other people because he's not comfortable. But that's not true who he is. And he wants a partner who's going to be of service to him to make him feel more masculine because deep down, I feel like he is a cowboy because that's the definition of masculinity. And because he's not true, he don't truly feel masculine or look masculine. Because even when you saw him compare himself to Jalen, he was very insecure. Like he was comparing himself to Jalen, how Jalen looked, how he presented, and he felt very, very insecure next to Jalen. He doesn't see himself as a masculine man, so he overperforms. Like you know how sometimes when you have dogs and you have like an alpha dog and you have like the dog who's like a beta and they show their belly, like he showed his belly to more powerful men because he don't see himself as super masculine. If you can kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I also feel like even with the Young Thug situation, he is the type of dude where he is he is feminine in a lot of the mannerisms that he has, which, if you notice, in a lot of culture, very feminine men are like masculine. So, like, he's very feminine but masculine, but he's not attracted to a super feminine woman because he and himself have feminine characteristics. Mariah the Scientist comes off as very feminine. So, I'm not surprised that he's actually attracted to somebody like Glow because Glow, even though she is a female, she gives off very masculine energy. So them two together, in my eyes, would make sense more so than him and Mariah the Scientist because she's very soft, feminine, girly, super subservient, and I feel like because he is the way he is, he needs a woman that's going to give him the same energy back. Mariah, he can run over. Glow, he can't. So guys who are like that, who are very feminine but dominant, they go for very masculine presenting women who also give off that masculine energy. Because Alandria is very, she gives off feminine energy, but she's very dominant. You can tell how she is with Nick. Nick is very soft. He's protective. He's of service. He want to take care. It's almost like a dominant submissive relationship between her and him. Like he wants to be of service and she wants to be taken care of. And she also likes to lead, but she let her man lead her, but she's giving him the direction. So with her and Taylor, it would never work because Taylor wants to be in control, even if he don't know what he's leading, and he wants his woman to be of service to him, and that's not her. So him being with Clark is very soft spoken. She's very much so. I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna go where the wind takes me, and that works with Taylor because he's very insecure. And until he becomes secure and can see himself as masculine, he is gonna nag her. He's gonna downplay her all the time until he learns how to be more secure in himself. And then I think he could be a better partner. But until then, he's really not going to be better because he don't really know who he is or can see himself as masculine. That's his problem.
Yeah, I agree. Somebody said that Taylor is a cowboy by virtue of like legacy, right? Like he's a cowboy because it's the family business, right? But oh shit, y'all. But he's in vet school, right? He wants to do something different. He's trying to sort of get out of that. So yeah, I think like even the ways in which he inhabits masculinity or what we would consider to be masculine traits, right? I think even this honestly goes to like remembering people's tea orders, remembering people's breakfast orders, like this idea of chivalry, right? This idea of like being a chivalrous man. I'm helping you up and down the steps. I'm wiping your tears as we're standing here for elimination. All of it to me feels like a performance around masculinity for him. But he also said, I don't know if people read it, but like I know he said in that interview with Galore, just kidding, Variety, that like his biggest concern, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with this, but that like the thing he was most like focused on was like getting along with the men in the villa, right? And this goes to one of y'all's comments, and I don't remember who said it, right? Around like how oftentimes men partner with women. Oh, it was you, Athena. Men partner with women and partner in relationships in general for the sake of performing for other men. And so, you know, I think there is a lot of performance that was happening with him in the villa. Yeah, thank you for adding all that. Okay, Sparkle, will you please give us your thoughts?
Yes, I loved this video. I commented on it when you posted it. I'm so happy to see people having this discussion in ways that don't feel mean-spirited and targeted and making queerness the enemy or like something derogatory that we're accusing somebody of because we don't like them. Because that's what people have been doing all season to Taylor. And it's made me so uncomfortable when I see people doing that, talking about, you know, yeah, people have been making a lot of comments, whatever. It's kind of like fun and games, making fun of his hair, whatever, his arch, yada, yada. But also, I think we forget that when we do that, you're not just targeting him, you're targeting anybody else who has those traits. They're seeing you making fun of somebody and making queerness the butt of the joke, and they might be queer also. And I feel very, very uncomfortable with that. I think we need to leave that. Like, we should just let that go, because it's not the way to express the things that we think about Taylor, the things that we don't appreciate about him, the way that he treated Alondria. Like, we can have conversations about those things without taking it to the place of homophobia. And I also really, really appreciate how you're having this discussion about his identity and not making it about who he's attracted to, because those things are not always the same. People conflate the way that you view yourself, your sexuality, your gender presentation, and they try to always directly link that to, oh, well, you must be attracted to men because you're doing XYZ. Maybe, who knows? Like, anybody could be whatever,
Yeah, I get you.
But it's also something that could just exist within that individual. It's just about their own identity, not about who they're specifically attracted to. So I love that we're having that discussion. And also, something that Anne said really resonated with me. And I think that's something important to speak about as well, because I think the unconscious bias isn't necessarily like a one-way street, because there was a reciprocal amount of discord with the way that Taylor was viewing Alondria in their relationship and the way that Alondria was viewing Taylor. Like, they did both end up in the best situations. Oh, I wasn't looking at my phone. I think I missed something.
I'm sorry. Chris is being himself and not recognizing that y'all can see him in the live. Let me move this house. And now they in the comments. Okay. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Sparkle.
No, you're fine. I was just chatting away.
No,
Not what was happening in the comments. No, I was just saying that I think there was something reciprocal happening in the way that Alondria was also viewing Taylor, and the way that that was not harmonious for her either, in the way that she wanted to move about in the world and the kind of relationship that she wanted to have and the kind of partner that she wanted to have, because that is a very, very real thing, that when you're selecting your partner, you're also selecting somebody who's going to match the way that you want to be viewed as well. Not just, on Taylor's side alone, as far as him selecting Clark and the implications that came with that, of the freedom that he might have with Clark. I think there's also something very reciprocal in the way that Alondria was looking at him, in the comment of, how old are you? There was a playfulness with Taylor specific to him that she did not like, which is also okay because he was being very, very childish. But I just think it goes both ways.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Tata, I only dropped you real quick so Gigi could come up and do a PSA. But yes, Sparkle, I agree. I think there is it's a lot of nuance. And I'm glad that this space is being held in a way that is good for you around this conversation. That matters to me.
All right, guys, just checking in with the Tinaverse. We are at 158K at 174 people in this lobby. If I can fight a dragon, a whole thunder dragon, while dragging around Atreus's ass, then I think that, and tap the screen at the same time, then I think that you guys can tap the screen. Like, there is no reason why I should be playing God of War trying to defeat a thunder dragon and you guys can tap the screen. I need you to tap the screen. We can get this to 200K. Let's not forget there's also the book club that is starting sometime next week. So if you want to be part of the think tank, you need to subscribe to that tier. If you can't right now, there's also the yappers. You can't do the yappers, then there is also the YouTube, where Big C is doing his thing. So You don't know what those words mean. It's God of War. I need y'all to get on this, okay? So if I could be playing God of War and dragging Atreus' ass around, then and tapping the screen, y'all can do the same. Makes no sense. We are serving great conversation, and Big C is still trying to holler. So I'm gonna need y'all. If y'all looking at both these things, if you like seeing Miss Tina blush and you like listening to the conversation at the same time, I need y'all to tap the screen. There is no reason why we can't tap the screen and let Big C do his thing. Please, I'm to beg you, let it happen, okay?
Y'all are so funny because Chris definitely. Can I tell your business a little bit
What is you gonna tell?
about the heart rate challenge? He's definitely Nick in the heart rate challenge, y'all.
Oh, we know. You didn't have to tell us. You didn't have to tell us. We knew.
I'm
We
so
knew.
sorry that y'all saw that. We were not.
We're not sorry. It's okay. We're not sorry. But we knew that. Trust me, that's not an announcement that needed to be made. That did not need to be part of the PSA. We knew, and we're here for it, or at least I am. So it's fine. We knew you had Nick at home, so it's all good.
We got Nick at home, y'all.
We all knew.
Bro. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you so much, Gigi, as usual, for the PSA. Let me do my quick shout outs to all my subs. And I know it's not going to show me all of y'all that are in here, so apologies in advance because TikTok is fucking weird. That said, I just had 3 new people, Nina, Mathwiz, and Lady. Thank you so much for joining our community. Courtney, Sola, Nick, Perpy, Jay, Lady Russell, Still Museum, Sparkle, Mish, Flowers, Tristana. I think that's how I said it. I think that's how I say it. And see, look, that's all that it says is online. And I know that that's not true because Gigi is here and Thata's here and Athena's here and Anne is here and Sparkle's here. Like, it's all these people. Violet, Lamikia. I don't know why it doesn't show everybody. But shout out to all my subs. Thank you so much for being part of the community. I truly appreciate you all. Again, I say all the time, the fact that dark skin lover girl, so many of y'all are in here. I don't know why it does this to me. But I appreciate y'all caring enough about what I have to say. Spleen, exactly. Thank you. Shout out yourselves, okay? Period. Thank you for Ruby for caring enough about what I have to say to want to fucking subscribe. I hope that you all are really loving the videos. I hope that they feel useful, they feel helpful. You get to see me think through some shit in real time. I will sometimes work ideas out with you all before I'm fully at the concept yet. So thank you for giving me the space to do that. Book club, I will mention, Gigi told y'all that is part of the think tank and it is starting next Wednesday. So that is the 17th. If you're not in the Discord channel, click on my face, go to subscription, click on subscription details. Oh, thank you, Gigi. And then it will have where you can scroll down. Thank you so much, Violet. It'll have where you can scroll down. And I do watch Martha's Vineyard. And I hated that one couple where she ended up pregnant the second season. Oh, they pissed me off. They pissed me off. But anywho. But you can scroll down. You can add yourself on the Discord. Yes, I think it was Jasmine. They do need to bring it back. Hopefully they will. And you can join the Discord. And the Discord. Oh, Beatrice, maybe on our next live, I actually can put that down as the. So I already have topics for y'all on Friday. I have to admit something to y'all. He did say trash. I have to admit something to y'all. Can I admit something real quick? I started watching Jocelyn's Cabaret. I know. But my daughter was watching it and I was downstairs. So now I'm watching it, Lynn and Lamikia. I'm watching it. I think Lynn is in here. I'm watching it, y'all. And when I say I have so much fucking content already and I'm only 4 episodes in, I'm like, oh my God, we need to talk about.
Tina, I want to say that at least I'm not going to judge you. If that's the level of toxicity you feel you can handle, go ahead. I did watch Love and Hip Hop for years and she is entertaining. But that's as far as I'll go.
I mean, again, I watched her on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as well.
and I loved her there. I used to watch her initially on Jocelyn's Cabaret. I think I watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons, and then I couldn't take it anymore. But when I tell you, we're going to get into abuse dynamics, we're going to get into how that mother wound is showing up with the way that she is showing up with these girls and why they submit to some of the things they
Not you
submit.
know about her mother wound. That's been a big issue.
And the girls' mother wounds. Okay, clock it. Okay, we're gonna talk about how her and Natalie Nunn are the same person. I said it, just differentiated by class. I said it. We're gonna talk about all the things.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna need to go think about this.
I got a lot of content coming from y'all. I got a lot of content coming. Okay. My panelists, I want you to give some final thoughts, and then I want to see if we can wrap us. Exactly. She is a very good mother to her child, Athena.
Yeah, I still have videos where her daughter is so cute and smart, and I love her daughter's always dressed like, I'm Haitian, right? Haitian American. Like, her daughter's dressed like the child of an immigrant all the time. And if you're the child of an immigrant, you know what I mean. Like, just very cutesy, like she's about to go to church, like very cute, like very adorable, which is so funny because Jocelyn is who she is. And then when you see her interacting with her daughter and the way her daughter dresses and the way her daughter speaks and is so smart, and it's just, whatever happened with her childhood with her mother, because I've heard her talk about that, I'm just glad it seems that she's repairing that when it comes to her own daughter, for real.
Yes, me too. Yeah, now how she's enacting that mother wound with her contestants is a whole different conversation that we will get into. Okay, can we start from I think we'll do top down this time.
That's fine because I need to get back to Atreus because he's misbehaving and it's about to piss
Okay,
me off.
wait. Gigi, are you playing Ragnarok or the original? The OG?
No, I'm playing the original because I downloaded Ragnarok because it was free on PlayStation, but I'm the type of person, if there's a series, I have to play from the beginning because I realize Ragnarok drops you in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So I have to replay from the beginning. So I am at the beginning and I'm at the Thunder Dragon part and it is driving me insane because Atreus is insufferable. So,
I love God of War. I love God of War.
Atreus is insufferable. I heard he gets better throughout the series, but that's another.
He is better in Ragnarok, but he's still annoying.
Right now, I'm about to let the dragon have him. But and that's only because I just beat Ghost of Tsushima last night, so I'm just like, I need a new game. But recommendation for a book, since we've been on this topic, and it is a fiction book by Becca Day, but it fits the topic perfectly. With toxic ass boy moms and religion and the idea of masculinity and how that presents. Trigger warnings in there. There is kidnapping and adult grooming. So just trigger warnings, but it is a phenomenal book. The audiobook is available you should be available at your local library, so free to be able to listen to. It is a great, I don't typically do audiobooks, but this was a great one too. It's called The Woman in the Cabin. And very, very good about how men present and how toxic masculinity is a lot of times linked to religion and how that shows up in parenting, especially when it comes to boy moms. And so, and it has those themes of my son is my king and how you show up. It is phenomenal. And it talks about breaking cycles and how women will suck other women into those cycles to be able to escape themselves. Great book. So I highly recommend that. And I just wanted to hop on there and say that because I feel like it fits all of those themes. And I think it's just really great. Again, it's Woman in the Cabin by Becca Day. It is a fiction novel, but I did binge it in an entire afternoon and phenomenal.
Awesome. I'm gonna write it down.
And as my final thought, Tina, I got a homeboy who wanna holler, right? He might be in the same room with you. You gonna give him a chance?
What Nick say? I want to get it blasted on my back.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap your screen. My player from the Himalayas.
Y'all are so funny, bro.
Alrighty, that was it. That's the one thing that came to mind that I wanted to make sure that I came back on screen to tell you guys that this is a great book for this topic, and it does have a great ending. But there are a lot of plot twists. There are a lot of twists and turns
And I just thought that I'd get up here, and I've been wanting to recommend this for a couple of days now, and I thought that I had the opportunity here, so I just wanted to share with you guys.
Thank you so much. Woman in the love it, love it, love it. Yes, and support your local libraries, y'all. So if you can get with your library, do your thing.
Can I
Yes, if
quickly
you
say
have
something?
Cloud, if you have the Cloud app, if you have Libby, it is there. If you have Hoopla, it is there.
Awesome. Thank you, Gigi. Yes, Tata, please go ahead and share your thoughts.
Oh, I just wanted to say, because I'm getting ready for sleep. I just wanted to say quickly, but to everyone that was saying how Jocelyn is so good with her mom, with her kid, just to be careful about that, because I, as someone who grew up with a Haitian parent who did her healing through me with performative ways of just like the way they dress you, the way they show up for you, it can be much more traumatizing than you think, because it's the one where you don't see coming. It's not like when parents are like that perfect mom to their kids because of what they went through with their moms. I think it's much worse than if the parent was abusive. So just be careful about that, because you may think it looks cute, but that caused some serious shit. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm gonna get into a lot of thoughts about Miss Jocelyn. Yes, Shayla, have fun, girl. Okay, Lamikia, will you please give us your final thoughts as well?
So here lately I've been doing a lot of well, kind of backwards. Like a lot of murder mysteries, true crime stuff, and a lot of going back, reading more about history and systematic racism and stuff like that. And then one of the arguments that we were talking about earlier about why Black men are so hyper masculine, and it brought me back to something I was listening to the other day and reading up on how in slavery, Black men were a lot of times sexually abused, and how a lot of people who are victims of trauma, they become hyper masculine and sometimes hate women because they see women as powerless, and then sometimes they see themselves as a woman because of how they were sexually abused, and sometimes that triggers the way that men present their masculinity, whether they become hyper feminine or hyper masculine. And you know how they talk about how your trauma sometimes it goes down the bloodline and it bleeds into your culture. And I think because we're still learning how to unpack systematic racism and how it made Black women look masculine and how it triggers Black men to be hyper masculine, until we learn how to deconstruct that and heal from it and teach our children more about our histories and why certain trauma bonds and chains are there and learn how to break it, we're never going to get out of this rut that we're in when it comes to a lot of things, and that being one of the biggest ones. Because I was really sitting there thinking about that as I went through my turn, and yeah, that's really something we got to discuss more about how that has trickled down, and we got to break that and teach people it's okay to, be fluid with yourself, because until we learn how to get out of some of this stuff, because some of this stuff is self bondage, is trauma that we haven't fully unpacked and haven't, how you said, sit with it and wonder, like, why did this make me feel a certain type of way? Why does it bring these type of feelings out of me? And it does come from personal trauma that we haven't learned how to unpack as a culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it quite literally like rewrites our DNA, right? And so, yeah, I do think these are like conversations that we need to continue to have. I agree. Thank you so much, Lamikia, for your thoughts. Athena, will you please give us your final thoughts as well?
My final thoughts are again a wonderful discussion. I really, Tina, I have to say, I really enjoy your panels. Like, I really try to make a concerted effort when I know you're going to go live to come in. And sometimes if there's ever a time that I'm in the room and I'm not coming up, it's because I'm at work, so like I can't get up. But I really do enjoy it and hearing everybody speak, and just a community. Like when Tata was talking about what she was dealing with, and everybody was like, sending her love, and they were like, I have resources for you. So it's just really a beautiful, beautiful thing that you've built here. And so once again, just thank you for the discussion. Thank you for the last. It's always entertaining as well as insightful. And I can't wait to have our discussion on Young Thug and Mariah and Glorilla, because I have thoughts. I have lots of thoughts. I have lots of thoughts about that. That's it. Nothing major.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna have to go. Y'all, I've been seeing like the clips and the memes and the things about the leak stuff, but I haven't gone to listen for myself. So I'm gonna have to go listen.
Hmm. It's
But
it's
I
very
mean,
interesting.
what's interesting, I think, the one thing I will say about it is I feel like somebody was joking in one of my lives and they were like, Mariah, the scientist is the exception. Like when we were talking about like not really like don't let yourself buy into there that you're the exception. And
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
and then almost immediately in real time it's like coming out how she in fact is not the exception. So yeah, it's
I mean, whoever said that we all get the same black men, even the preferences, was not lying. That's all. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
gonna be a good combo. Good combo.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Athena.
All
Okay,
right.
friend, will you give me your final thoughts as well?
Yes, I recommend watching Blue's live today. It was 2 hours and change, but she's always worth the watch. She's so smart. And she's my Haitian Cuban sister, period. Poo poo. Anyway, what I like to say. First, Young Thug, you ain't shit. Secondly, Mariah, you're not the preference. On Blue's Live today, she kept talking about how people don't think that I'm black. I have black parents and I'm light skinned. Girl, if she don't shut your bitch ass up. Oh, sorry. That's the last cuss word. Because why are you like this? You want attention so bad. You know you're already the preference. Like in every interview, the same thing she kept repeating. Like, I'm just a light-skinned black woman. My mother's a fair-skinned black woman, but I have two black parents. Like, okay, so you look like an unambiguous black woman. And you have advantage in colorism actually helps you because you're not as talented as some of the other ladies. I said what I said. Jessie Wu is an actual singer. So I want to say that Mariah, if you can't sing live, sweetie, beware. And you're only singing on in the words of the great T-Pain on autotune, you're not talented, okay? And just because you had a feature with Chris Brown, another ain't shit light-skinned man, that doesn't mean you're it. Love the song though. Love the song. But yeah, Mariah, please, I hope you stand up and you do leave that man. And in the words of Dominique Morgan, she's the best. Don't get pregnant, but if you do, sit on a fire hydrant and clean it out. Please get that Next One On, sweetie. I'd like to advertise that I am on Next One On. Shout out to me. Real quick, because my ex had 5 baby mamas. I know, I was unhealed. And I was not for to be number 6. Don't play with me. Period. Yeah. Listen, isn't Dominique hilarious? Yeah. Don't get pregnant because it's reproductive abuse. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I'll tell you from experience, I haven't seen my ain't shit baby father in how many years now? 2 years. Just don't do it. He's not worth it. Yes, it was 5 baby mamas. I'll tell you that story another day, y'all. I clearly wasn't loving myself. I like to credit my therapist I've been seeing for 3 years. Y'all should get one. And I mean that, no shade. I think all people should have a therapist. I know. I once was having fun with a Libra, and I'm saying having fun, wink, wink, if you know what I mean. And he said, I like to hike and I go to therapy. And he said that ish was for white people. Needless to say, I don't talk to him no more. And then whole time, he was living with his boo. And my intuition told me. So I said, you living with somebody, ain't you? He went ghost like Casper. Gone. Where that nigga? I don't know. It's all right. He was old anyway, and God didn't like him because his hairline was receding. He had to cut off his locks. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, his hairline was receding. Also Love Island, if you're smart, you can hire Tino. I think she'd make herself available. Does Jocelyn have therapists?
So y'all know I would never diagnose, but Jocelyn does not strike me as someone that could sit in a therapy room with anyone that would do her any good.
You think she's afraid of accountability?
Afraid of, or doesn't think she needs to be?
Oh, clock it. I think that her issue is that she does use the mother wound as an excuse from the last thing I said. But I've been in my true crime doc bag, and after the documentary of the high school catfish, yes, I went back to rewatch it. Because I'm that girl. I'm one of those people that watch true crime for fun. Don't play with me. I'm into serial unalivers. Mind
I
your
watch
business.
true crime to go to sleep.
Listen, I just want to be in the mind of the serial unalivers. I want to know why you do what you do. Anyway, check out Ed Gein coming out, okay? A homeboy been doing his thing with the monster. Dahmer scared me a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you. I did like the Menendez brothers, but Ed Gein's about to be something. That man was wild. I also like to point out, YT people, you're the bad guys. I don't have serial unalivers in my. Well, it's very rare. Y'all are the bad guys. I want to say it right here. Very rare.
It happens.
Also, we don't do mass pew pews. That's y'all. But let everybody tell it we're the bad guys.
It depends. Maybe not schools, but
But Tina, I do have a question, and I'm really, really done. Do you think there's a lot that's out there? Do you think that Kendra is a narcissist? Because I feel like she is. Do you think that digital Munchausen is also a good thing? And lastly, do you think it's a trauma bond or is it Stockholm syndrome? Because I'm hearing a lot of things.
I mean, Stockholm syndrome is a pop culture term to try to explain trauma bond. It's kind of derogatory in a
Okay.
way, so it's essentially the same concept. Um, I think like so Munchausen is not the like appropriate term anymore, but like I think you mean like can it show up digitally? I think you're asking about like the mom, the unknown number thing. Like can that?
Yeah, they've been calling it digital Munchausen, and people
Yeah, I
feel
mean,
like that's like a downplaying it a bit.
well, and
But
the person that said it is not like a professional. It's like somebody that just like probably heard it from somebody else in the documentary, right? The person that said it in the doc, I feel like it was like the cop or somebody. Like it was somebody that was like, or the superintendent. It was somebody
oh,
that was not qualified to be saying that. That was saying it.
okay,
Um,
interesting,
but I don't
interesting.
necessarily think that it was about. I don't think it was necessarily that as much as I think she's an abuser. Like that's like I don't know why people don't want to just call it that because that's what it was. It was just
That's true. I also want her in the SO list, if y'all get my drift.
on
The
God,
SO list.
on God, because I
Um,
don't know why she didn't have to register considering how
and
she.
here, and you know what? Masculinity fits into this conversation because if it were a man, would things be the same? Also, I'd like to point out the intersection of race and misogyny in this because she is a YT woman. Also, have you heard of a family annihilator? Because somebody
Yeah,
was referring to her as what the, you know what? Every
the
time I
family
think I know
annihilator
something,
is it's a term typically used for someone that annihilates their family, and that it's typically a term used for YT men.
but
But
she
it's someone
might.
that unalives or like redacts their whole family, so she's not an annihilator. Did she like blow her
Um,
family up? Sure, but she didn't annihilate them.
could it have gone that way though? Couldn't it have?
I don't think so. I don't think
What
she was
if
ever
what
going
if
to
her daughter
unalive.
unalived and she got all the attention she was looking for?
But I don't think she would have ever done it. I don't think she would have ever actually done that. There was nothing to make me think that she would do that herself, right? I think
That makes sense.
yeah, I don't think she was the one that was ever gonna pick up the pew pew and do it. I don't think so.
But she did threaten it though. So that's scary.
Yeah, but I think that's about her again terrorizing. Someone said like Emma, pure. It was just about doing psychological warfare, not just as though that's a small thing, right? But it was about her inflicting psychological warfare onto her child because she is an abuser.
Thank you so much. When I think I'm done, I have more research to do. Well, I'm glad I study public health now. I went the right way. Nursing was gonna take me out. Anyway, toodles.
All right, thank you so much, Sparkle. Please give us your final thoughts too, friend.
I'd like to just say good convo. I love the panel. Love hearing everybody's takes, everybody's thoughts as always. And I love the conversations around masculinity and femininity and how those things impact our relationships and what we want and what we feel it's okay to want and not to want. It's just really interesting. And if you write that dissertation, we will read it.
I truly think I'm gonna have to write a paper, Sparkle. I'm making the Substack, y'all. It's coming. Oh, period. Your master's in public health. Yes, Adelaide. I love that. Any other thoughts? I'm sorry, Sparkle.
You know what? I did think about you the other day when I watched this video, and it kind of relates to this. It was about, did you like hear all the discourse that was going around about Sabrina Carpenter's album cover?
I heard bits and pieces. Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, like the conversations have been restarted around the cover. If you guys didn't see the cover of her album, it was a picture of Sabrina on the ground with a man pulling her hair from the side. And people had, very big reactions about that, of course, because one, that's just kind of a shocking thing to see, and two, because a lot of her audience are very, very young girls. So that's a kind of a concerning thing for people to just see and not have any explanation behind. But I guess because of her VMA performance and her having a message around transgender rights and queer rights, there were a lot of people making videos saying like, oh, well, do you guys take back everything that you were saying now? Because she's a feminist. Apparently, because she's had a feminist message at the VMAs. Like, do you take back everything that you guys were trying to say, that she's not a feminist, that she's harmful to women, that she's regressive towards, young girls and their identities and how they see themselves in the world. So it's all very interesting things. My thoughts are unchanged about how I felt about that album cover and the responsibility that I think she has with the age of her fan base. I don't think that anything at the VMAs changed my mind.
Yeah. I think that that's so interesting. I will say that I did not put it in the video because I didn't know what TikTok would do with it if I did. But I do have a lot of like reading around corn and feminism and like from actual like corn performers and like feminism. So I do think it's like an interesting conversation because I do think that some people will say that like that doesn't look like feminism, right? Because it looks like subjugation. And there are some people that are like, well, it's subverting the expected role, and so it's feminist. And so I think it becomes a very like tricky and nuanced conversation that I think could be really interesting. And I hear you, Sparkle, because my 15-year-old daughter is a fan of Sabrina Carpenter. Like, I'm not listening to her. I'm a grown-up. I mean, maybe grown-ups are listening to her. I don't know. But it does feel like she has a certain age range.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of a part of it, like the back and forth of people being like, no, well, it was meant to shock people and it was meant to, make you think, but at the same time, I don't listen to all of her music. I hear what's on the radio, but it's kind of conflicting because with her songs, it's like, well, it's not radical. It's not doing any, like, it just is what it is. Like, it is exactly what she's portraying, for the most part, from what I see.
Yeah. I will say, yeah, I appreciate that. And I see that some of my grown folks who are in here are saying that they like listen to her as well. I do think so. Here's what I'll say. Somebody asked me about like whether or not I think murky marketing is like irresponsible. I will say, as much as like I think people hate this response, it's true. Like ultimately, that's on me as the parent to like have that conversation with my kid about the artists that they're ingesting. It's on me as the parent to make my children be able to be media literate, right? Because I can't control all the media they're going to engage with. And so my kids need to be equipped to then engage with the media that they're ingesting. And if they're not at an age where they can have the critical thinking to engage appropriately with certain levels of media, then that's on me to make sure that they're not like to not have, you know, that like when people have like all these like critiques about Cardi and she's like, I'm a grown ass woman. Like, why would you think that my market is your 12-year-old? You know what I mean? And so I think that there has to be a balance around like accountability in the home as well around like what your kids ingest and whether or not you're having whether or not you're having those conversations, you know what I mean? And so like I told y'all, my 15-year-old was the person watching Jocelyn's Cabaret, which is how I ended up watching it, right? But we've been having media like literacy conversations for a very long time, where I can trust that she can engage with certain media, and she has certain dialogue with me as we're watching the show. Like she's able to pick up and to point out and to call in certain things that she's watching. So I know that she's ingesting media responsibly in that way. And that's on me as a parent to be making sure that my kid is equipped in that way. So I would say it can't only be the artist, their responsibility. There has to be some accountability in the home as well around having those conversations. I do think like, sure, it'd be nice for her to be like, oh, this is what I meant with the album cover. And I think it's like on parents to say, well, what do you think she meant? What do you think the messaging might be? How do you think that messaging might be misconstrued? What do you think about, you know, like it's on them to have that dialogue and help their kids to critically think through some of that. Now, obviously that means the parents have to be able to do it too, but I will just, yeah, that's my spiel. Okay, thank you so much to my panelists. Thank you so much to my live viewers. I always appreciate y'all being in this space with me. I adore y'all. We will be live again on Friday. Friday panel is open to everyone. It is connected to viewer wishes. So I'll have a video coming out about that to explain it, because again, I am switching up some of the formatting around things. Don't forget to be adding questions to the Google form for us to respond to on Sunday. Book or reading suggestions coming tomorrow. What else is coming tomorrow for y'all? Reading suggestions. I have a video about how to prioritize increasing your self-esteem when you did not experience love and confidence building in your household. And then subscribers, y'all have a video coming about Ulissa. All right. Love y'all so much. Have a great night. I will see y'all in a few days. Bye.
Bye.